Oh, why wait?
Jobber Nation, welcome to another episode of the Jobbertears podcast. As always, I'm Janelle from HR. Here with Wilkins and Mrblacc. We do have an extra empty chair next to me on my right side. We do have a special guest that is on their way. Shout out to Tantalizing Tony in the building.
Tantalizing Tony.
Shout outs to Andre in the building. Kentucky's finest in the building. I don't know where that.
What's there like? I'm old school. You know back in the 90s? Kentucky. What's up, big dogs? Roof.
Hey. Shout out to Michael Bostic in the building. Out here causing a ruckus at his job right now.
So we need to finish this conversation.
Okay, yes. So before we do get into some wrestling talk,
I'll give some back.
Those that are on the live, you come in. Once again, if you have not gave Mark Zuckerberg permission, you can put your name on your comments because this is actually we're gonna actually throw it to you guys. What Sir Wilkins is gonna mention this story that he talked about in pre-production. So go ahead.
So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's talk about mental health, traumas, and everything, and things that trigger you. So
we got you, Tesla, Tony.
At my old gig,
shout out to Gene.
I had interviewed a girl, and the interview, I felt that she did a great job in the interview. So after the interview, after we were done, I said, "Yo, I'm done here. We're done here. I've seen enough."
Mm-hmm.
We ended up hiring her, and she did a great job. Years later, she tells me that she thought that because I said we're done here. After the interview, it made it seem like she didn't get the job.
Correct.
I said, we're done here. I've seen enough. How is that making somebody feel like they didn't get the job?
So those that are on the live feed, I need you guys in the comments to either, in your experience, and everyone has done interviews and things like that, if the person interviewing you ever told you, I done seen enough.
I didn't say it that way.
And that's how it probably is.
No, I said this is exactly how I said it.
I've seen enough.
I said, I've seen enough.
How different is that than what I just said?
Yo, everybody say, look at the comments.
Tone.
Stuff sometimes. It's all about how you say. It's not how you say. It's all about how you say sometimes. It depends how you say it. Honestly,
so in knowing this one over here, because I think he watering it down a little bit. He gave the whole like I done seen enough. So in someone hearing that on the other end, you would think like, oh shit, like I didn't do my best, or I didn't get to really prove myself to the person because they don't already shut me the fuck down.
From my experience, when someone said I had seen enough, yo, I already made my point.
Exactly. That was exactly. Thank you, my brother.
And that's why. And that's why the two of you are the way that you are.
Because I said I seen enough. We did a practical. We did. It was a regular interview and a practical interview.
Well, so practical interview.
So you had to do a couple. You got to show me what you can do.
All right, that's it.
And it was like 2 minutes in. I was like,
so she had a performance, like I said.
Yes, and I said,
oh my God, and you said I've seen enough.
I said, stop.
Oh my God,
I've seen enough.
You didn't mention that she actually performed, so that goes to even what I said about how if you think about it, like think about all the like young girls and guys that does like cheerleading or something. Like you're doing a performance based interview, and a nigga hits you with the I've seen enough. Like what? Facebook user.
So it said, because y'all grew up together. Y'all damn near have a conversation without talking.
Correct.
That is true. That is true.
I am the odd man out. Everyone always thinks that I'm not. I am.
But I'm just saying, I said, I've seen enough. We are done here.
It's I've seen enough. I think it was okay. It could have been all right, but we are done here is where.
And then she was like, and I remember she was just like, she kept asking, you want anything more? Are you sure? I was like, no, we're done.
Yeah. Oh my God, you shut it down.
I gave her a handshake. I said, have a wonderful day.
Boy,
And what happened? She got hired.
But she didn't know.
I called my boss and was just like, yo, she nice, B.
Yo, but
she nice.
She doubled.
Put her on the
She
team.
didn't know.
And guess what? You was
right.
And
it was because of how you delivered that shit. And I know you was like, we are done here. I know
in your skills, you be like how I said, you take it two ways.
But even the most confident person, if I heard, and listen, I'm not saying I'm the high or almighty, but if somebody told me I done seen and heard enough, I was like, damn.
There's not more to do.
There's nothing more to do.
But clearly,
How would you ended it?
Clearly, the
I'm
interview.
sorry, Miss HR. How would you have ended it?
Well, I've done interviews before too. No, I would let the person show me what they got, and when they're done, thank you, and we'll follow up with you. Let them run.
Why are we elongating this thing?
Exactly. I want to go home.
I want to go home. It was my third interview of the day.
Oh my God, the third interview.
Third interview of the day.
Jesus.
It was not at my primary location. She fit she fit what we needed. All I need is 5 minutes with you.
I'm just.
I mean, at the end of the day, he's right.
I don't need you to long drawn out. You got things to do.
Not a right,
I got things to do.
It's not a right or wrong thing. It's just that I can absolutely see how that went down, and I can absolutely see why that girl thought she ain't have that job. I can see it.
Supposedly she called her sister and cried to her.
Yeah, because I would have been like, yo, he didn't think I was good enough. I still feel like I could have showed him more. Like, he didn't want me to show him more. Like, yo, she probably felt that way.
All right. So I have interviewed at jobs that I didn't get. You know what my philosophy is? This wasn't the job for me.
Thank you.
No, that's
the
fair.
The university didn't want me here.
Thank you.
No, I don't disagree with whatever the path that you're meant to be is the path you're going to be on. I don't disagree with that.
But
I'm
path
just saying
was at my old job,
her
and I
path,
brought her to the old job.
And you were the roadblock, my nigga.
I wasn't the roadblock.
You was the one interviewing her.
We were on the highway to greatness.
And she still works with you.
Yes.
So you brought her for the old place.
Yes. Still taking care of her.
I'm not negating anything positive.
Smooth
I'm
Black
just
money.
saying that. Hey, Smooth Black one. Shout outs.
Carl wanna know, did you check out the mixtape? Not yet. I'm gonna check it out this weekend.
Oh no, not yet. Well, send it to me and
but
then I'll listen. But
to get started, first things first.
I'm the realest.
Where's that from?
The champions,
Iggy Azalea.
the winners get all the spoils. The champions get all the bubbly.
What are you talking about?
You champagne popping. WWE took down AEW.
It wasn't even so much a date. Like there wasn't a competition, and we'll talk about it.
It was
just
a
because,
competition.
In whose mind?
Bro, come on, son. We are not doing this. I love how you two are. Oh, this is no competition. This is just let's all just watch great wrestling.
So I didn't say that. My thing is that
woman.
No, it's not even that. It's just that I watched the Tuesday night show that I always watch. That was that. Like it wasn't.
It wasn't a competition for you, but these niggas. Tony Khan, Shawn Michaels, and Paul Levesque, a.k.a. Triple H, they were in the war room.
The birthday nigga clearly was on, his hands was on fire come Tuesday afternoon, I heard on the Bluebird.
Yes, he was popping
whole hot shit and got nothing but 600,000.
But then again, in the defense of NXT though, in defense of AEW, right? That was not the regular night.
I was waiting for someone to say that.
But it's true though. You're the XFL going against the NFL, and the game is the all-time Giants. They're all in good health versus the all-time Eagles team.
But
Come on.
You know who's gonna win that all-time Eagles team?
Shut the fuck up.
Giants.
But my thing with that is that the whole people that claim that they've never watched NXT. And that's why I'm like,
right.
The whole, like, that's why I don't really give it the whole competition thing, even though that's the narrative and that's cool. But I just feel like when you have people in the wrestling community that doesn't talk about NXT, that hasn't, that's not what they watch, even on a Tuesday.
Right.
That's why I'm like, well, that whole AEW's on a different night. The niggas that watch AEW just would have watched it on a Tuesday instead of a Wednesday. It shouldn't have been that big of a difference in per se. Only thing is that the time was different. So had AEW did like Tuesday night at 10, it wouldn't even been close to 600. So I think those are the factors you look into. Not so much the day. I definitely think the time can play a huge factor because you can even see from even with Rampage and with Collision. I don't know.
Listen, NXT had the first ever WrestleMania, dude. You brought out Undertaker.
And they still didn't hit 1 million.
What?
And?
NXT?
Yeah.
They did.
No, they didn't.
No, they was a little under.
Little under?
Yeah, there was a 9 and change.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought they had to hit $1 million.
They didn't hit $1 million, and that's the caveat in the situation.
Uh-huh.
They brought out the Avengers.
Dang, there you go. Shout
out
to
to Christian Bailey.
They brought out the Avengers. They literally had John Cena, the Undertaker
from retirement. No. Mark Calloway.
That was Mark Calloway.
They had
Paul Heyman. Storyline with the bloodlock.
Come on.
But that's why that was a better show.
Wait. They brought out the Avengers. They acted like Tony Khan was Thanos.
But that's how Tony Khan be acting, and then fail.
How does he fail?
Even though for them they were only down 7% of what averagely they do, which is not a big deal in terms of numbers, but in terms of people talking about what's going on, people on the internet giving them they didn't do it. There was a regular ass Dynamite just on Tuesday,
which
is why it wasn't a competition.
But they try to pump it up. There's a lot of
Yo,
things.
my man overhyped an announcement to it just being Toys for Tots.
But the thing about
great fundraising.
But we have to talk about the fact the Avengers came out and they didn't fully kill Thanos, which is AEW. Because look, this is what happened. You remember Avengers?
Which one?
The I think it's Endgame. Or is it? No, it's Endgame. Mm-hmm. When they have Thanos and they're about to take the glove off, and then what's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy?
The white dude?
Huh?
The white dude?
Yeah, the white dude from damn it.
The captain.
What, Chris Pratt? That's his name?
Yeah, what's his name? Yo, guys.
I think that's I think that's his real life name. Is Chris
what's
Pratt.
the old captain from Guardians of the Galaxy?
It's the white nigga from Jurassic Park.
What's his name on the show, on the thing? Damn.
Oh, I don't know. I just know it's Chris Pratt.
Yeah. Shit.
Who I believe is married to Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter now, to be honest.
Gosh.
Star-Lord. Rewind.
Star-Lord. Yeah. Star. Thank you, y'all.
The moment he said it was the moment everybody was like, Star Wars.
So, anyways.
I love the community.
Let's rewind here. So, NXT brought out the Avengers. Everybody was on it. You had a legend, Hall of Famer, Undertaker, because they kept doing the bell after the commercial. Dong, dong, dong.
Yeah.
John Cena, living legend now.
Yeah.
About to be a Hall of Famer.
They announced him, the greatest of all time now. I'm like, what the hell?
You have Paul
I don't disagree,
Heyman
though.
in there, one of the greatest managers of all time, former ECW owner. Mm-hmm. You have him there. Who else was on the show?
Well, Jade popped up.
Came
out the white car, the white caddy.
Jade popped up. You had that. So you had the entire Avengers. And they're about to be
Cody.
I'm sorry. Cody
LA
Luther X. LA Knight was there.
LA Knight.
So you had all of these superstars of the main roster come down to save NXT from the evil Thanos, aka TK. And they should have hit $1 million. They came close. Just like the Avengers came close to beating Thanos
in part one,
but then Star-Lord messed it up.
So, do you think there's gonna be? Well, so the main reason why, and there's just different, reasons, but on the AEW side, the main reason why they were on Tuesday was because the MLB playoffs is going on. So, as we continue on, and now basketball is going to start soon, and TBS and TNT are very, very big on sports on that end. So this, my question to the table is that, so you mentioned the whole Avengers and how the first time around they didn't beat Thanos, but then there was a second time around. And so my question to you guys is, do you guys see another Tuesday battle where NXT goes over the $1 million?
Yes, they have to, because you can't do that.
Say that for later.
Okay. Well, actually, we can answer that right after this question. So go ahead, as you were saying.
Like I said, they have to hit $1 million. There's no choice.
They do.
They've hit 900,000 before. The $1 million is where you need to hit.
They haven't. I think it was said they hadn't hit 900
since Black and Gold.
Since like September 2019.
Yeah, Black and Gold.
Exactly. So yes, it's a good
that
thing.
Shit is huge.
You almost destroyed Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
But not yet. You won the battle, not the war.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So I'm very sure there'll be another Tuesday.
What I'm saying is they have no choice. They have to hit $1 million. So if that means bringing The Rock back,
Dwayne.
So that guy, both guys, a question. Do you think WWE failed?
No.
Do I think they failed?
Yeah, Tuesday night.
No.
Yes.
No.
They
Okay.
failed. They failed. They won the battle, but they haven't won the war.
Okay, what about you? You
No,
said
they didn't fail. First of all, they're not in a battle. Ugh.
How are they not in a battle?
Because
Why would I pull my guns out if I'm not in a battle?
That is true though. They brought
So
Undertaker.
so here's the funny part. I'll go back a week ago when I was watching NXT in my house. So as I'm watching the show and they're dropping all the people that's coming on the following week, so I'm like, oh, John Cena. Oh, shit.
I forgot Oscar was on there too.
Oscar. Oh shit. Oscar and Roxanne Perez. Oh shit. I was hyped about that. I didn't even hear the gong thing until like 2 days later. But so I say that in saying, so my original intake where I was just like, oh shit, NXT is about to have just a bomb ass NXT Tuesday. I didn't even know until after, just personally, I didn't know until after NXT went off that AEW was gonna be on Tuesday. So I was just sitting here like, oh, okay, that's a part of the reason why these niggas is going in like this. But another reason why is because now they're shopping around for TV deals. So they wanted to show on the viewing side and the demographic side what NXT can bring to the table. So when they do go for these renewing of these TV contracts, that they have the leverage. And that's a part of the reason why they went so hard. So, even though as fans, no one's going to hear that. Everybody's going to be like, nah, they did that because AEW. And it was just like, there's different parts to it.
I mean, like,
Hold on, I want to answer this question.
what's the question?
Because niggas want to call me niggas. So first of all, nigga Donnie Luch. I think that's his name. I might be pronouncing it wrong. Don't disrespect your last name.
Donnie Lucha, I like Lucci.
Donnie Lucci.
It's like Lucha Libre.
Yeah, Lucha. Yeah.
Lucci. The reason why I used Thanos as an option, because just like Thanos, Tony Khan's trying to balance out the wrestling world. And then he's collecting a bunch of stones, aka WWE wrestlers.
Oh, WWE wrestlers.
Whoa. He's not the wrestlers. He already collected 3 of the stones. Kenny, the Young Bucks, and the one stone right here, like people forget, he got Jim Ross.
Oh, Jericho.
Jericho.
Jericho was the last stone to give him the power.
Yeah, the power. Wait, we got the power.
But that nigga not even using the power to do anything.
He got him a TV deal.
He did.
Well, Jericho did that.
Yeah.
He got him Edge. I mean, he got Adam Copeland. He got him John Moxley.
But that's not none of them things is moving the needle.
But the thing about it,
unfortunately,
now NXT is like, really? You gonna do this? It's time to kill you. But they haven't fully killed him yet.
They haven't.
Their phone ringing. Could be our special guest. Hello.
Yes.
Oh, it actually is not. But actually, go back up a little bit. Someone asked about the Jade. I want to answer our family friend Christian Bailey's question. Mm-hmm. He said, "Good morning, love the pod. We appreciate you just as much as you appreciate us, Christian. So just understand that." Question for later, but we're gonna answer it now. Okay. Do you think Jade deserves a Mania match in 2024?
I don't see why not. Because we always talking about the lack of women matches. We always talk about the lack of diversity. We always talk about we don't put enough spotlight on the women. So if this opportunity to have another women's match at WrestleMania at your bigger stage, a black woman, yes, I'm saying black woman, and as a black person, I love to see my black queens winning. Mm-hmm. So what's worse that can happen? And knowing her, knowing what kind of investment they have on her, they have the NXT. They have all of this in her favor. Now, if she flops, what's her excuse? That's on her.
There's so much pressure on her.
Pressure's on, but guess who ain't gonna crack? Part of me, I had to laugh at that.
Hate you so much. So I'm like 50-50 on it. If they end up like...
Yo, welcome back, bro.
MD 89.99.
Wrestlers for the niggas.
What's popping? What's up?
I mean... Pharrell hat.
Because I'm so happy.
I'm so happy.
See the bars?
I did. So do I think?
So how do you feel as a black woman?
As a black woman, I think it'd be interesting because if they brought back what was the name of the battle royal? They changed it because
The Mae Young?
Yeah.
What is it called, the women's battle royal now?
Right. So if they figured out a way, because so I'm 50-50. I'm 50-50 on her being in the actual Royal Rumble. So I'm very 50-50 on that. But if they were to do it, then maybe doing like that women's battle royal and having that being her debut and her manning that, maybe. No. I said maybe. No. But do I think she should have a match? I actually would probably rather see. I still feel like she needs that NXT love for like 6 months solid before we go up there. But
yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why not. I don't see
no. This
why?
I think she pops up at what they're doing right now is sprinkling her on the food.
Every year.
They're sprinkling her on the food.
She's that new seasoning. She's that new season that you got from Walmart.
To be honest.
That's that new season you got.
Yeah. So she's sprinkled on everything. Mm-hmm. I would put her in the Royal Rumble, have her do at least 2 or 3 months at NXT in NXT. Mm-hmm. Because I think she needs to see a different way of production, because honestly speaking, NXT got better production than AEW.
Okay, say that louder.
Wait.
They been had that.
We gotta admit this.
They been had
Jade
that.
looks way better in WWE.
Bro, it's like, when you have your glasses on and they were foggy all this time.
Oh my
and
gosh.
ain't nobody fucking tell you that your fucking glasses was foggy. And then out of nowhere, someone gave you a blessing and said, listen, here's some Windex. Let me help you out with them glasses. And then every time they done showed this girl, this lace front is on point, this outfit is on point, who she's been connected with is on point. But like it is the
I've
craziest
been saying
thing.
this, and people get mad at me. When you look at I said this before. When they did the Worlds Collide, that pay-per-view, New Japan versus AEW, remember that pay-per-view?
Yeah.
When they did that,
Forbidden Door?
Forbidden Door, whatever.
Because I was saying like Worlds Collide was definitely an NXT thing.
Right,
so I was saying
my bad.
like what?
On when they did Forbidden Door, you saw the difference in pageantry.
Yeah.
Between AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Right.
I've been saying that. New Japan Pro Wrestling look like stars. They look glamorous. They look over the top. They look like bigger than life.
Right.
90% of AEW wrestlers look like they rolled out of bed.
Listen.
No. There's no listening to this. Most of the wrestlers on AEW's roster, when they're about to wrestle, look like they came from the backwoods of Indiana or middle of America for an indie match. They look trash.
Let me stop this. Let me stop you there.
MD $89.99 said AEW is ECW light.
Let me stop you there.
ECW is better though.
Let me stop you there. No, they're just trash back in ECW.
No. ECW was the same way.
No.
Did you watch ECW?
That's how I started watching
but
wrestling.
then they looked horrible.
Yes.
No, I mean production-wise, definitely. But that's why he's saying that's why that makes sense what he just said.
No, but my brother is referring to how the way they dress.
No, I know that. I'm just saying I like ECW as a product more. That's all I was saying.
I talking about the clothes. I was like, nah.
No. But okay.
No, them niggas was coming from Ashbury Park and shit. What the fuck are we talking about?
No, it looks like they rolled out of bed.
Yeah.
Hold on, another example. Brian Pillman.
Yo, Brian Pillman looks sex.
So outside of the
now.
weird beard
Sexy.
shaped up like he was Dominican Poppy from the fucking bodega. Outside of that was a beautiful package in terms of reintroducing.
But the thing that's what I'm saying. Like, you're putting the money into the wrong thing. You put money into this bum ass fucking wrestling game that nobody's playing anymore.
Let's list of all the things Tony Khan has wasted money on. You wasted on the one-off songs because those cost.
Okay, for 5.
Just for the moment.
One-off songs, these bum-ass belts you keep making.
The fucking cameraman that you have, whoever's in the fucking truck, you have changing the cameras. Whoever fucking is queuing to commercial, trash.
Oh, your glam squad is trash.
No, their glam squad is non-existent.
No, it depends on the show. It depends on the show.
It shouldn't have to matter the show. Then that means they're bums.
Bums, trash.
That glam squad is trash.
That budget ain't there.
No, they have the budget.
They do.
Listen. I should not see my men or my women looking like they rolled out of bed. You're on television.
Why you don't have a barber backstage?
I don't know.
They should have a barber
WWE
backstage.
got the elite.
About 2 black women to do black women's hair.
Okay.
They should have 2 makeup artists. They should not. Nobody should be coming out looking ashy. Like my man from Chicago just said, you should not be looking ashy like you need some cocoa butter on your body.
Well, so Elijah said he made their clean belts. I actually like their belts. I actually like their belts. Oddly enough.
No, I don't care.
It fits them.
But the thing about it, no. The thing is, put the money in making your people look like stars. Why did Jade look better?
She looks. Oof.
How and what camera are they using?
Yo, it's a totally
What
different
light?
angle.
What were they doing?
Everything.
Jade always looks good, but why does she like another level of greatness?
But it's
Crispy.
crazy. But it's crazy how good she looks just coming out of a car.
Yo, my nigga, son.
She hasn't even walked down the ramp. She hasn't been in a wrestling ring.
Nothing.
She's
She
been
went
out of a
from-
white Cadillac.
She went from 1080p in AEW to 4K.
Yes.
No, but that's
yes.
that's real though.
Yes,
That's
like
real,
the
though.
only people that like who actually dress up and like look like superstars.
WWE guys.
And I'm talking about AEW.
Max dresses
but
up.
his tan be fucked up sometimes.
Ricky.
Ricky.
I'll give him that.
I will give
The
him
swag.
Cheetah.
Yeah.
Nyla.
Oh, yeah. You talking about the AEW guys? Yeah.
Nyla looks pretty good. Willow at times.
Yeah, that's why I said at times like the makeup, because I remember one pay-per-view that she was on.
Swerve does look good, but he be looking ashy.
No, that hair, that be
He
looking
looks-
like a fucking.
No, the hair is fine.
Not doing this.
The hair is fine. And it's that he needs to put some lotion on.
Y'all not gonna get me.
He doesn't.
Nope.
The skin doesn't look moisturized.
He doesn't.
And that beard, like
Listen,
he don't drink water.
whatever,
No.
whatever
The
cocoa
thing is-
butter that Prince Nana's using, just
He's African.
exactly.
so.
His
But
skin
the
is
problem
flawless.
is
Just saying.
they don't look like megastars, and that's what I keep saying is that you guys are on a millions of $1 million TV deal.
Right.
So every time you step out out of Gorilla and about to walk to that ring, you should be bigger than life.
But I always said this, and I keep on going back to this. When you grow up poor, you know how to look good. You look at all the fashion guys, everything like that. You realize how important pageantry is. Tony Khan grew up rich. And Tony Khan probably didn't emphasize the importance of appearance, stuff like that. Because, my nigga, I have money.
That nigga from the Midwest, so
Hold up. Half of these wrestlers,
they from the inner cities. They're from
they
the boroughs.
poor. White, black, Puerto Rican,
I'm
Asian.
talking about the owner.
Yeah, but I'm talking about you should be making a bigger effort.
Should be making a conscious
But
decision.
there's no effort if the boss not stressing it.
Fair, but that's why it always boils down to the person in charge. I agree with you on that one.
I give you prime example. Look at the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, whatever, right?
Pageantry.
Wait.
They look good.
What?
The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega.
But did they have a Darius Carter to let them know that, yo, dress this way? A lot of these people in there, like you said, Tony took all of the indies over. And a lot of them came from a situation that they didn't have the best. Only thing they had was with their ring gear. Not all of them had a locker room leader like a Isaiah Wolf and tell them that, or Darius Carter, like, yo, this is how you dress. This is how you carry yourself. Who was the guys who took a lot of these people under their wings? And you know the people who had that little pageantry and training, Will Hobbs, the way that he carried himself, he had that.
At the end of the day, these niggas look like they rolled out of bed and went to start wrestling.
All right, so let's go back into this Tuesday night battle. Let's just go with some ups and downs, things that you like, things that you didn't like.
Listen,
okay.
Fake ass Jordan, listen.
MD 8999. I want you to go back to previous episodes of the Jobbertears podcast because I've talked about that girl here forever. However, whoever's doing it now, it's not as bad as it was when she was in WWE, which is where I was like fucked up with. But she's another one that, in all honesty, is like probably killing the ROH women's division scene, and no one knows.
Yeah.
And I hate that for
And
her.
that's Tony's fault.
I hate that he had a whole Wrestle Dream pay-per-view and all them ROH people was on the pre-show. Like, it just... And she's the women's champion.
Oh.
The longest... About to be the longest reigning ROH women's champion.
You know
and
what?
Doesn't get any type of love or support. So it's weird.
You know what I didn't like? Willow was that new champion, right? The first ever open women's openweight champion, right? She had one match. She was hot for 2 weeks. They mentioned her 2 weeks, right? And never again. Eddie Kingston win this belt. Oh my God, she's double champion. Oh, they present him everywhere. Eddie Kingston's this, Eddie Kingston's that. Ring of Honor champion, he's on television a lot more.
Yo, that nigga's actually been on TV, I feel like, way more times since Cesaro was when he was ROH champion.
Right. And reason why that I bring it up because it's a constant problem. Because you may looking at it this way, like, but Mrblacc, you know, Willow didn't have an AEW championship. So like, this is why they didn't present her that way. Oh, Mrblacc, she's Ring of Honor champion. Talk about Athena. She needs to be on TV that way. But you have a guy who have both titles, but he's always on television. You presented it like on a 0 hour for a weekly television show. He's defending both titles
Against a nigga that he's already wrestled before.
Right. So my thing is this:
that didn't
where
entice me.
the same exact energy that he could have put on for Eddie Kingston, which is great, my nigga. You know, like he paid back his IRS. He looking good. He getting good clothes. He's smelling better. He's bathing on a regular basis. I'm proud of you, Eddie Kingston. But now Athena, you could take that same opportunity and gave it to Athena. Or you could have took that same 30 minutes, cut it in half, and gave it to both women.
Oh, let's talk about
but why is
new.
that?
Listen, because he don't give a fuck about women's wrestling, and I already done told y'all that. Y'all know that. Everybody that's watching, the 32 people viewing, y'all know that, and everybody that's gonna be listening to this episode, that man don't give a fuck about the women's division, and it showed this past Tuesday when again, and it's not a knock to Sheeta because I actually do like Sheeta actually. But it didn't make any sense how the one that was champion before Paige is now the new women's champion again, and there was no story to it. There was no.
But you know why Paige Saraya got the title?
Because the pay-per-view was in the UK.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because we all know Saraya, the bus passed when it came to wrestling. Saraya is still at the fucking bus stop because the bus already passed when it came to wrestling. I do not know why you niggas love Saraya so much.
Because you know why? Because you know why? It's the same exact boat why I love CM Punk and AJ Lee. Because it was during the time where wrestling was in the PG era. So these three people stood out.
These three people stood out 20 years ago. 20 years ago. You know what I was doing 20 years ago? Jacking my meat in my mama's basement.
I don't think everybody needed to know that. I don't think
That's what I was. It was a different time. You know what was 20 years ago? What happened in 2003?
It was what? Was I 14?
It was Nelly was on top of the charts
with the bandana.
Ludacris was doing his thing. Yeah. I was listening to G Unit. I was listening to Diplomats.
Wait, did you?
We are not listening to these niggas no more. It is 20 years later. Stop propping up this woman like she's a star.
I listen.
Then say the same exact energy for CM Punk.
Actually, you need to keep that same energy for everybody that's old and over 45 on AEW and WWE.
Whoa.
We're gonna do that.
Whoa. Don't do that.
No, but if you're gonna do that,
do not put ageism on wrestling. Stop.
But that's what he just did.
No, he did not.
I'm talking about the moment.
Yes,
that moment
different.
that she had is past. I don't care how old she is because I know y'all gonna take this clip and be like, oh my God, we're gonna talk about women's ages. No, I do not, because I like my bitches old anyways. So fuck y'all before y'all even move forward.
I can actually co-sign that.
So let's relax.
This nigga
back to what I'm
milk,
saying.
I will say.
Back to what I'm saying. The bus has passed when it comes to Saraya and professional wrestling. The reason why they put the title on this woman is because he wanted a cheap pop in England. And I'm going to tell you this right now. That pop wasn't worth it.
It didn't translate in on the TV.
Because when I was watching, I was like, this shit weak.
I said, damn, that's all they going to get for her? So you got 70, 80,000 people in here and the building don't look like it should? What's going on here?
The building didn't shook because they went like,
the
boom.
only reaction was her family. It was the weirdest thing. And then fast forward to who did she face here in New York at Grand Slam?
Nobody cares. Because that's the problem. Nobody cares about Soraya in the ring. That's why you take that belt off of her and put her on an actual wrestler like Sheeta. I give a fuck more about Sheeta than I ever gave about Soraya over the past 5 years. Yeah. More than I gave about Soraya.
Yeah. But so another reason why I didn't really care for the title change, as mentioned, Toni Storm. So the shit Toni Storm's been doing on AEW has been amazing. I was upset at first when the fucking video was in picture. I was very hot because I was like, what the fuck? But then I realized it was a silent film. So I said, oh, okay, actually, you know what? This being in this position, you can have this because you can't have mine, clearly, because I just took a swig of it. But my issue is that Toni Storm's been, back and forth with her former group members. And now it's like, what happens to that storyline now that there's no title involved? Like, what do you do with Toni Storm now? Like, does she still fight with Ruby and Paige and all them niggas? Or does she, where does that direction go?
You take Toni Storm away from that bum-ass Soraya.
Well, they already did, because now she's on a whole different
and
level.
now you put her by herself. Let's grow that character. That's the best thing going in that women's division. Toni Storm's character is over. Now continue to build it. You may not like it. I understand why you might not like it. But fat booty Toni Storm, character is popping.
No.
It's the only actual character.
I was gonna say
this. It's weird.
I was gonna say this. The biggest problem with AEW women's division is it's the same for women, and I feel like none of them get cycled out because you put the same exact women over and over and over again. What happened to cycle all these women out? You always talk about
where's Abaddon?
Right. I was going to say this.
Oh, thank you, Wes. Appreciate you. Love from Alabama. Thank you so much.
I was going to say this.
We are Alabama in this house. Alabama in this house.
Listen,
I don't know what goes on Montgomery, Alabama.
I was going to say this. I think the biggest problem with the women's division is nobody feels fresh no more because we know what we're going to get. We only get the same 4 or 5 women each and every time in the same exact matches where you have tons of women.
So let me ask you this question. You think WWE does that? Main roster, not NXT.
But but now are we in that? Are we now in that playing field of still dividing main and NXT, or should we just talk about WWE? No, I'm just saying before you answer the question, I just want to know, are we still going to keep separating the two, or are we just going to say WWE?
I'm talking about the main roster.
Yes.
The main roster is the main storyline.
Yes.
The one that comes on Mondays and Fridays as of right now.
I don't feel like that's
I think
good criteria, but okay.
Yes and no. Yes and no is because NXT is saving it, and I also think that there's a large crop of women that they switch in and out that they use. AEW would stick to their top 5. WWE would stick to the top 10.
That's because it's a bigger roster per se, I guess, or because once again, because Raw's 3 hours.
No, but I can push against that because
different.
They have more. They have a bunch of shows. They have 2 shows. They have Collision. They have ROH pay-per-views. They have Dynamite. So they technically have 3 shows, and they have multiple. And then now
Rampage.
And now they're doing pay-per-views monthly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so according now 8 a year is going to be the new lineup for AEW.
And then, with Athena being ROH champion, supposedly the internet is buzzing about how she's doing. Why isn't she showcased more?
Exactly.
Instead of putting her on 0 Hour with ashy-ass Keith Lee.
Exactly. And don't forget.
No offense, Keith Lee.
Don't forget.
Trash.
Don't forget.
Y'all feel look trash.
The women that she's wrestling in ROH is also nice too.
Yeah. No, I agree.
She's not putting on matches like Jade when she was in AEW. She put on great quality matches. Lady Frost. You remember Lady Frost?
She signed supposedly.
Nice.
Lady Frost?
To what?
AEW.
Really?
Lady Frost is nice. Yo, everyone who's
I
watching.
They use her wrong.
Look up Lady Frost.
Nah.
Fire.
Her and her husband are dope. No, it's a dope couple out of Pittsburgh. So no, definitely look them up. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna play that card with you, MD $89.99.
Yo, MD $89.99. We're going to be in Chicago.
Yo, I'm planning a brunch Saturday afternoon before Survivor Series. So
this is our question.
We'll let you know.
Not just the AEW thing, but a wrestling thing, right?
Okay.
I'm not talking about wrestling. Matter of fact, they put all of us in. Do you think black, white, whatever? Do they think that we're not a good enough draw. So this is why a lot of wrestling companies don't get behind it. It's just a question.
Do you think black wrestlers are not a draw?
Yeah.
Whew. Who's unpacking first? You go, Janelle.
No, you clearly have it. So I don't.
Do you think they're not a draw?
No, I'm asking.
No. Do you think they are a draw? Or do you think they're not a draw?
For me,
Are you asking? Do I think they're a draw or not?
right, because the reason why I'm always asking is this is just from a person that with big companies, whatever, just talking to different people, because when you start looking at color, looking at who's moving the needles, is us black wrestlers really moving the needle?
So I'll put this is my opinion on it. I think black wrestlers aren't given a chance to show that they can move the needle.
Okay.
That's the problem.
I can kind of get with that.
Where you can't tell who moves the needle until you give them a chance to move the needle. And a lot of black wrestlers aren't given that chance.
Okay.
Multiple reasons why. They're not politicking the way that a lot of white wrestlers do.
That is true.
Nepotism is a huge thing in any type of sport, and I will say any type of form of entertainment.
Right.
So a lot of black wrestlers don't have deep roots in wrestling. They're the first of their generation to come into wrestling.
Like us.
Number 4, a lot of times owners, bookers, they see a black wrestler, they try to put them in a certain box, not let them be themselves.
Brandon's that hot nigga shit.
So the bigger thing is that I can't give you a yes or no answer because not enough black wrestlers are given a chance to perform and move to see if they move that needle. That's always been my thing is, yes, you can say, he doesn't move the needle, but you don't give him a full chance.
So I'm going to piggyback off of that because I do agree with that. But also, it also goes into the fans. Fans play a part in someone either getting the opportunity or someone either, holding the rock, like y'all like to say about basketball, right? That's the right terminology.
Yeah, rock. Yeah.
But I feel like you saw I was trying to be down for a second.
That was cute, my nigga.
Thank you. I try sometimes, But no, one of the biggest things is actual support. And it's support from the fan side of things. Like you mentioned it right when we talked about Big E and how his merch never moved because no one bought into the merch and no one bought into the person. So it definitely, like on all accounts, each side, it's like a seesaw. And when it's balanced, that's when there's chance for growth and opportunity. So as much as on the business side, and that has to be accountable. And as an owner, you want to be able to showcase talent. And you want to also be able to give opportunities to people that would never be able to have an opportunity as such. So you have that on that side. And then on this side, you have, as fans, you have to also invest into that person for them to either get the opportunity or to maintain the opportunity. So it has to play together in order for it to be successful. And the biggest example is Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair, in that chance of going from NXT, never winning the NXT women's title, to then going to the main roster, having the phenomenal run that she had running up to WrestleMania and having that main event with Sasha Banks. And then fast forwarding it to then the next year, having the match with Becky Lynch and going through and winning the Royal Rumble and all that stuff. So they gave her those opportunities, and as fans was behind that. Whether she was champion or not, the fans were behind her, and that I think played. It's like when you're in like a symphony. It has to, or everybody has to. Every section has to play its part for it to sound good.
I think that I'm gonna push back on it. Personally, this is my personal opinion. I think that we are a draw. I agree with everything you guys are saying, but it also falls back on the fans. Definitely is. I'll give you an example. Is when we had Bobby Lashley as a champion, everybody was behind him. Oh, Bobby Lashley is champion.
Yo, when I saw niggas pumping in an arena, I said, oh, shit, this nigga over.
Everybody went crazy. Bobby Lashley. And then we talk about what kind of warrior wrestler Bobby Lashley is. He's the typical Debo type of stereotype during time of champion. I'm going to beat up everybody. I'm angry. I don't need nobody. It's just me. Blah, blah, blah. We all got behind him. We bought his shirts. We got hype. Now, Big E was the opposite. Big E was the dude that who grew up with in the suburbs with. Mad cool, had a wrestling games, tight. He ain't no gangster, but he gonna stand up for himself. He likes video games. He was full display on that. Everything. He wasn't afraid to show many sides of him, but yet we didn't support him. So the reason why I said what I said because it fell back on us, because how many times that people say that I hate Big E for all that dancing and all that. He looks stupid. He should be angry coming to the ring, blah, 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 blah. We don't give our black wrestlers a lot of leeway to get out the box. Because the moment we get out that box that white people put us in, we get upset because it messed up the norm. I'll give you an example, right? For many years, from my personal experience, I got called gay because I wasn't talking that hootie hollering. I wasn't every girl's face, none of that. I stick to myself. This is who I am. Everybody knows who I am. When you meet me in person, black is a life. He's definitely to himself. For many years, because I didn't fit the stereotype of what belongs in the hood as the black man. You feel me? Then when I started adopting these society norms, that's when I wasn't not called gay no more. So the reason why I said all of this is it falls back on the fans. Now, we do get a few black people in there. Oh my gosh, my brother, we got the niggas. We got the niggas in here. We had a woman who wasn't in wrestling, who was a comedian. Similar to Patrice O'Neal, we went crazy on her and got her out of there. Every time we have someone who looks like us, may not be from the same world we're similar to, we shit them out of here. We shit on them. So now, let's say how that person finally gets through. Dang, only one in the room. Let's say as a wrestler like Trick Williams. Trick Williams not this. She fights. Get the hell out of there. Or she ended up conforming to the system. And then, you know what they do? Let's hire another Janelle in there because she acts like a Janelle. Our biggest thing is we don't embrace true diversity. Us as black people. We do not. A lot of us do not. Because if we did, the fucking Zoot Network would not be having all these fans and money right now.
So the thing is, I push back on kind of both what you guys are saying. Fans are important. But if the machine is not 100% behind you, you still don't get a chance to move the needle.
But the machine
No. I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre literally had to fall on his face before they pulled the machine from behind him. Then he came back, and he left and came back and did what he needed to do. Another example, we can use Roman. People weren't 100% behind him.
So I challenge that with Chad Gable. And I say that because in the beginning, I just as a fan, I felt like the machine in that instance wasn't behind him and didn't see the talent. And I felt like it wasn't until like the fans really got behind him with the thank you and shush and the stuff he was doing. I didn't think for me as a fan, I didn't feel like they got behind him until the fans kind of got behind him.
It works different ways, but I don't think he's gonna be a main event superstar anytime soon.
Oh, my nigga about to be IC champion. Don't
yeah, but the thing is, I'm talking about superstar level of the ones that really move the needle and stuff of that nature.
Don't do nothing.
Yeah, but they gave Roman multiple chances because they believed in him.
Oh, well, also in that nepotism.
So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes the machine is just not behind a person. Sometimes the machine will doesn't see the full potential until somebody else sees it, and then they bring you back. An example is Cody Rhodes, but he had nepotism as well with him. So that's an example is that we can blame the fans. The fans do play a factor because they look at numbers. Right. They look at demos. They look at to see who's maneuvering the right way. Our guest decided to show up because people be late, but you can't be late to his show.
Stuff to do,
but you can't be late to his show because if I came late an hour late,
you would know more than anybody would know. So it actually is perfect timing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our very special guest in the building.
What's up, brother?
I've been waiting for this moment for a minute to come and sit down with the one and only Brian XL from House of Glory's in the building. Y'all, give it up. Good, how are you? Here you go. Here's your mic. He got his New York coffee. He ready. I know it was early. Trust me. I'm tired too. I promise.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with BXL, the owner of House of Glory. The guy the first of every month, he texts me, "Where's my money?" Because he said, bitch, give me my money.
Bitch better have my money.
Yeah, I need that.
You see the shows he put on, he gonna need everybody to pay what they owe. But we are very thankful to have you on. They have a very, very big show coming up tomorrow in live time. So we're here to talk about that a little bit. We're here to talk about him.
Why
of
is
course.
NDBO saying this nigga got good hair? Line of crispy.
Listen, it's funny how that was the conversation earlier with the lineups and stuff.
The Bookers in the building.
One half of the former House of Glory Tag Team Champions in the building.
The Bookers.
The Bookers.
How'd you even come up with that? Like, was that just an obvious name to go with? Like, did y'all
Honestly,
have to?
no, that was actually Red's idea. Yeah, so we just ran with it.
I was about to say, did you agree with that or no?
Absolutely, I think that was perfect.
So
much
question before we like dive into topics about wrestling and get your opinion on it. You've told the story to me,
Okay.
but let the fans of the Jobbertears Nation know how House of Glory started, because it's a real deep story.
That was actually was my first question was gonna be, where did y'all get the name from? Like, I just feel like that in itself is a story.
All right. Damn. Okay.
Put him on the spot.
Yeah. So so I was I had the money and I had a meeting with Red and Joel Maximo. I don't know if you remember from SAT, and it's more deeper than that. But I guess one day I'll get to it, and you know what I mean, 'cause I don't really tell people the story. But to make it short, so I had the money and I went to Red and Joel and I basically told them, look, I got the money, I could invest in it, and we can make you guys the faces. And obviously I own it with you guys, but I want to be behind the scenes because nobody really knows me. You know what I'm saying? But we can make it like Amazing Red School kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? And then we did that, and then Joel went his way. Once we started, like 2-3 months later, Joel decided that he didn't want to really be involved anymore because he had other stuff that he was working on. And then me and Red just kept going. You know what I'm saying? And through the grace of God, we're here, man. It just it blew up.
He's talking low because he cool. He from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I was about to say, my man's on his Rico Smiley stuff. So
There's more details than that, but I guess I'll save that for like the documentary.
Ooh. Speaking about documentaries, someone just asked and talked about the Von Erichs. Has everyone seen the Von Erichs trailer for their new movie coming out, I believe, Christmas weekend? It talks about the Von Erich family and like the trials and tribulations of that. So actually I have a question for you. Working with Red, how has your relationship with him grown into such a brotherhood in that way?
That's a good question. Back in the days when we first started, we all used to travel together. You know what I'm saying? SAT, Amazing Red, Joel, Kelvin, Chris Divine, Quiet Storm, and so we used to always travel together, and they took it more serious than I did. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with Kelvin and Joel from SAT. I used to go to school with Kelvin, and we was just all wrestling fans, so it worked out. But I knew Red, we used to all travel together, but we was close. But me and him obviously got more closer because we did start doing business together. You know what I'm saying? So I think that through the years, us working together, House of Glory been open since December 2010.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying? So
That long?
Whoa.
yeah, we've been around for a minute, so our bond just got closer because at the end of the day, it was just me and him. Always have to obviously business. We always got to message each other, talk to each other, make sure everything is, copacetic and stuff. So through the years, it just got real close, man. And I love him. He's my brother, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. I'll do anything for him.
No, that's and trust me, the way that Wilkins talks about not only you but talks about Red in the manner that he does, it's like it's an honor, I think, for anyone to walk through those doors of House of Glory and be able to be in y'all presence. Because I always say that you are the vision, and I feel like no one knows that about you because even the small conversations I've had with you, I'm like, this man's vision in wrestling is just different and it's interesting. So talk a little bit. What made you fall in love with wrestling?
Honestly, like I've been watching wrestling since I was 4.
Woo.
Yeah, so
We're not gonna age you, I promise.
So so I was one of those kids that that couldn't stay still. Like I used to be running around and you know what I mean, and I was just a real bad. The people that knew me like in school and stuff like that, I was a bad kid. You know what I mean? So so wrestling was the only thing that I'll still stay still for. You know what I'm saying? So my mom's just like, all right, let me just keep the wrestling thing. Let me buy him these wrestling toys and stuff like that, because that's the only thing that kept me still. And then obviously, you know, through the years,
That's a good mother right there.
yeah. So through the years, you know, I got older. I just didn't like wrestling anymore. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I stopped. I was in the streets and stuff like that. And you know, growing up in Brooklyn, it's just really hard to not do the activities that's going on out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
Being a product of your environment.
100%. So I was really deep in. You know what I mean? But what brought me back at a young age is when I met Kelvin and Joel from SAT, because that's when ECW was booming. So ECW is what was the reason that got me starting watching wrestling again. You know what I'm saying? And we had a whole, and obviously you guys know that we got trained by Mikey Whipwreck, the legend from ECW, you know what I'm saying? So just being around that whole environment, watching him as a fan, then years later end up meeting him and him training us in the House of Hardcore in Long Island, it was just all a dream come true, man. It was just a lot of great things, man, that happened. You know what I mean?
So what came first, the school or the wrestling promotion?
The school. Actually, Red didn't want to do the wrestling promotion. He's still against the shows to this day. Yeah,
You can kind of get that vibe.
no, he's just like,
he loves it, but he's just like,
Yeah, no, and sometimes it's like I have to like really convince him to like wrestle sometimes, like because he likes doing the teaching thing and running stuff, and you know what I mean. But I love both, like you know what I mean. I love the shows, I love it, like you know what I mean. I think that this was what we're here for, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, that's all me. Like, you know what I mean? He does it. You know what I mean? Obviously, when I need advice, I'll hit him up, and he gives me the best. What his shit? You know what I mean? He's a legend. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I always listen to him. So if he has an advice, I'll take it. You know what I mean? Or if I can't figure something out, I'll hit him up, and he'll give me the. You know what I mean? So we work good together. You know what I'm saying? But he hates the shows.
Now that you've been around wrestling for how many years, and you've seen the evolution of professional wrestling, what are your thoughts about the current state of wrestling, especially the one not in the independent scene, but more on television?
especially when you see guys that've been through
Like
the
AEW?
school. Yeah.
Like AEW, WWE.
nice
Well, what are your thoughts on the current state of professional wrestling?
I love it, man. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate stuff like, even though like, you know, sometimes I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I don't watch wrestling, right? But lately I've been trying to watch it, especially like AEW. Obviously, you know, my students are signed to AEW. You know what I mean? And
Which students?
Private Party.
Shout out to Private Party.
Yeah.
They're gonna be at Comic-Con at the Nerds table, I think Saturday this
Yeah.
weekend.
I was with them last night. We was at the West Side Gun album release.
Oh.
Dope.
Oh, that's why you were late?
Yeah.
he turned up last night.
Yeah. So I honestly, man, I think, you know, people say things about Tony Khan, you know what I mean? But you know, for me, it's like it's hard for me to just look at stuff as a fan, you know what I'm saying, or a wrestler. It's like I've been a promoter since 2011, like, you know what I'm saying. So it's just like my mind is just like from a promoter's aspect, you know what I mean. And him, I give it to him, man. I think that he really does a lot of things for the fans. You know what I mean? Even though people look at him like he's a mark or he's a fan of the sport and stuff like that, we all marks. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. But I feel like, let's just say, do you guys think that that CM Punk is going to go back to WWE?
No.
Wait.
Hold on. There's a reason I'm saying that, but do you think he is?
No.
No.
I feel like the okie doke is they want everyone to think no, and it could be a yes. I'm still 50-50 on it.
I think no because
Let me ask you this. Before they started announcing the last 48 hours that they were talking about, before that, would you have thought that he was going back to? Because I know that it's been on the internet that
no.
he's not going back.
I'm like, even after the release, I said no because it's all about something that he did. I was like, he got thrown out of WWE doing a Raw.
Okay.
Nobody gets thrown out like that. You feel me? Mad old people comes backstage and all of that. Never an issue.
No, but there was
Punk,
a reason why, and that it was legal why they had to get him out. It wasn't even on a personal thing because he still was under contract AEW. It can look like tampering, so they had to get him out of that building.
But even like before they had the opportunity to sign him, they was like, nah, we're good. You feel me? Now if AEW was on some like it wasn't locker room issues, I see your man coming back, but you are a bad locker room guy. That's why I say he ain't gonna come back.
I don't agree with that.
All right, put me
You
on,
know what
dude.
I'm saying? Because, you know, not to my horn, but I know a lot of people that that be there, like there, and they was just saying a lot of great things about him. You know what I mean? There's some people that will say certain things, but like, to be honest with you, man, like, and I'm gonna go back to the question of Tony Khan and stuff like that. When I was in Ring of Honor, like I was in Ring of Honor when it first opened, right? So I got to wrestle Eddie Guerrero and you know what I mean? Like, yeah, a lot of people don't know that. If you go back to the match he only had 2 matches in Ring of Honor. The first one was Super Crazy. The second one was he teamed up with Amazing Red versus SAT. And then after the match, I went in there and I grabbed the mic and I was going back and forth with him like I basically wanted a match. He beat me up, gave me the frog splash. Best time. Yeah, I would never forget the legend. What? But when I first met CM Punk, I didn't like him. It's like there's something, them people that you meet, sometimes you're like, there's something with this dude, man. Like, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like, and I, for me, it was, I don't know, I was like, yo, he got a Pepsi tattoo or whatever, Coca-Cola tattoo on his arm. Like, you know what I mean? But this is back then, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, and it's crazy because Gabe Sapolsky, he was pushing Punk. Gabe has a good eye, man. Now that I've learned a lot about the business and stuff like that, being behind the scenes, I give a lot of credit to Gabe. He sees talent for real because I didn't see it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he pushed a lot of people. Yeah. So back then, I definitely didn't see it. He had like the basketball shorts and all that. I'm like, this guy looks bugged out. Like, you know what I'm saying? And look who he came now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a fan of Punk. I ain't gonna lie. So for me, it's just like, so with CM Punk, I feel like he just rubs people the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? But going to Tony Khan, I feel like Tony, for what I be seeing, like he gets people to be able to like surprise the fans, like, right? So he'll get these like the CM Punks, the Edge, or whoever, like, you know what I'm saying? Even though people say he doesn't do nothing with them after. You know what I mean? And I could agree with that to a certain extent. But like, he brings people in for the fans. Like, people want to. How many years have people been screaming CM Punk in WWE every time they're in Chicago?
Nah, listen.
Well, you put it that way.
Wait, hold on. How long that they've been screaming?
He does have a point.
Hold on.
Yeah,
How long they've been screaming
that.
for CM Punk for so
I'm
long?
I'm not mad at it.
All right, hold on. So for me, it's just like the fans have really been wanting to. And to be honest with you, for people that don't know, I had a meeting with Master P, right, a couple years ago, and then we was doing business together. And when hold
up. The streets got to know this. House of Glory doing business with Master P. Y'all niggas can't fuck with them.
So we had a meeting with Master P, right? And one of the first things I told him, I said, we got to go get CM Punk. I said, let me tell you something, man. Like, this man right here, and the way I explained it to, and people probably won't agree with me, but the way I explained it to Master P, I'm like, look, this dude right now is not signed to nobody. And it's like Michael Jordan, right? Being in his prime and leaving basketball. I said, that's Michael Jordan right now in the wrestling world. People want to see that man, and nobody's picking him.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. How did Master P react when you told him all this?
He was with it. He was like, all right, cool. If you look at TMZ, I don't know, he shot him out. The one thing that I was trying to call Master P because he pronounced his name a little wrong. And I'm like, yo, I don't want to do it like that. Like, you know what I mean? He just started saying things that I didn't agree with, and I was calling him. I'm like, yo, I didn't want to present it like that. But I think that it was a turnoff because I spoke to Mike Johnson from PW Insider, and that's my dude. Like, I knew Mike for a long time, and he hit me up. He's like, yo, B, look, this is the truth. And he just didn't present it the way I would have presented. He did it without telling me. Like, Master P just jumped out the window. You know what I'm saying? But I knew that CM Punk people really wanted to see this guy. You know what I mean? So for when AEW did that, I'm like, this is a good thing. You know what I mean? And I feel like if they do bring him back to WWE, I think that AEW plays a big part of that because they got to see business-wise. Forget about personal, whatever he did. Business oversees all that. When it comes to business, what?
That's money.
When it comes to business, you can't put your emotions to business. And I do that with House of Glory. Like, even if I don't, I'm not saying because I like everybody. I try to, have a relationship.
This man knows how to maneuver through a room full of sharks.
This is true. So for me, it's just like business before anything, right? And I know that they seen AEW and they're like, well, all right, this guy, it reminds them how much power this man has. What they do with that Saturday show? They built the whole show for him. You know what I mean? Look
and now it's Daniel Bryan's show.
Yeah, of course, but look how big it was because of him. And I heard, I don't know, people that told me, like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying this, but I heard that he was running that show.
Yeah.
Like, he was producing that show. Like, he was the one that, like, Tony, they used to sit together and put that show together. Like, that was really him. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But the thing about it with me when it comes to CM Punk is you have all this talent, all these opportunities, and you let, like you just mentioned, you let your emotions get the best of you. And that's my only thing with him because, like you said, when people saw the talent in him, people saw how much money he can make, he can generate, what he can do. But yet, he throws that all away.
Oh my God, I was there too.
Because of that attitude. Because of the way he acts. That's my thing. Because it's like, maybe
You know why you
it
say
doesn't
that?
make sense.
You know what? I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But you know why people say that? Because he had two altercations, right? So people are like, oh, this guy's he has a bad attitude.
It's problematic.
You know what I mean? Hold on. But before I go there, you said how I felt about the state of wrestling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's in a good place. It could be better. You know what I mean? But I think that AEW is giving a lot of people opportunities that would have never made it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people that would not. I look at that roster and there's a lot of people for me that would have probably not got that chance to be able to make it. You know what I'm saying? And AEW came and they giving a lot of kids opportunities. And I also heard that Tony Khan be paying these kids even when they hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or he lets their contracts go all the way. Like, WWE doesn't do that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
What Tony Khan does, and I've said on the podcast numerous times, he is making the ecosystem of wrestling much healthier.
Yeah.
I may not agree with everything that he does, but what you pointed out is you're giving somebody who's probably would have made maybe $40K a year doing
30, 40.
doing independent wrestling, $100K, $120K. So I respect what he's doing for wrestling. Do I have to agree with everything he does?
No, of course not.
But
None of us
CM
do.
Punk is out here wilding. We're going to go back to Punk.
Yeah, let's
Wait,
go back to Punk.
wait.
I want to go back to that.
I actually have a question about Punk since you are the booker and everyone knows that of you. Let me paint a scenario. Let's go back to the media scrum. Let's say you were sitting there
See, I
instead
don't
of Tony
respect.
Khan.
See, that's right there. Let me tell you
Let's
something.
see.
When I
Okay.
seen that,
Good
I was,
question, Janelle.
yeah. That's
Okay.
a good question. When I seen that, I was real upset. I'm like, damn, this nigga's bugging. Like, you know what I'm
But
saying?
why did that as an owner? Why did that make you upset? And what would have you done in that scenario?
No,
Hold on.
I won't be in that.
Hold on. Let me rewind. Let me rewind this. Because I like that question. We're gonna spice it up a little bit. Y'all just got a TV deal.
Yes.
House of Gladiators got a TV
Yes.
deal. Now you're probably doing a pay-per-view every quarter. Probably you're making a bunch of money now.
Yes.
Ken Broadway, the guy you've invested a lot of time,
Years.
and money into him.
I would have said Charles
Yes,
Mason.
years.
Continue.
Years.
Yeah, that's my dude. Shout out to Ken Broadway, bro.
But
That
Ken
dude's a
Ken's been there a
superstar.
little
No,
bit
Ken's
longer.
been longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long.
He's a superstar. That kid,
and
bro.
Yeah.
you've been riding with him for a while. He sits next to you in a media scrum.
And he's beefing with Private Party.
He's beefing with Private Party and a couple other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come
And how would you have reacted
There you go.
in that moment?
Hold on. One, you can't compare CM Punk to Ken Broadway.
No, not in that aspect.
Hold on. The reason I'm saying that is this. I mean, like, you can't compare their relationship, Tony Khan's relationship with CM Punk.
with
My
Yatu.
relationship,
Yeah.
let me tell you something. I knew Ken Broadway since he was a kid. I knew Private Party since they were kids. So it's more of like
It's a little different.
Yeah, it's like you know what I mean? Like I'm not saying
Like,
father
he's a big
figure, like, you know what I
brother.
mean? Like big brother. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like in the way we do things in House of Glory, like nobody's perfect. Like you know what I'm saying? But there's no altercations with each other that I know of. Like you know, people may disagree. People may disagree and stuff like that, but ain't no fist throwing, none of that. Never been that and never will be that. Like you know what I'm saying? So I really can't. I could talk from a promoter's aspect, but
Yeah,
I can't
that's what I
can't
want to
talk
know.
about, like, you know what I'm saying? That I can't put it there.
From a promoter's aspect, how would you have reacted if one of your top guys was wilding like that?
Yes.
I think honestly, I think that I probably would have told them, like, you know, shut the cameras off. Not that I'm gonna do something physical, but I'm not gonna be able to continue this because at the end of the day, I'm gonna look real stupid.
Correct.
As the promoter, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just like that just shows no respect. You know what I mean? Because when let me tell you something. If do you think, and not to, like, you know, I'm not dissing CM Punk or none of that, but you think if Vince McMahon would have been sitting there, that CM Punk would have been doing that?
Hell to the no.
100% he would not been doing that. But you know what's great? What the difference is that Tony Khan builds these relationships with these guys more than business. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't.
So how do you separate that?
All right, so I could tell you that. Let me go back to like the CM Punk thing with the London, right? Do you think do you have information that was CM Punk's fault?
No, we're just going off.
All right, so for me, it's just like I do have information on that. And when I heard, I'm like, all right, that makes sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? And for me, it's just like, I think because it was back to back, people look at him like, yo, this guy's trouble.
Again?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, what he said in that thing, what you just mentioned, I don't know what's called Scrum or whatever.
Yeah,
the
media
media
scrum.
scrum.
I think that was CM Punk's fault. Like, you know what I'm saying? I
Absolutely.
think that he should have held it, you know what I mean? Just being more of the OG in the whole situation. Like, bro, you should have just, approach the situation outside from the cameras. You know what I'm saying? But I guess that he was just upset and couldn't hold it, and that's understandable because we all human. You know what I'm saying? But I think that second one with that jungle kid, I don't think it was.
So whose fault was it?
I think
I mean,
the way it sounded to
it
me,
looks like Jungle because he ain't still been on TV yet.
yeah, you know what
To
I'm
be
saying?
honest, since then.
And I feel like if I had the way it was, I don't know how true it is because people. There's always three sides to the story. So what I heard, I think it sounded like it was Jungle's fault. Like he, you know what I mean? Like it was like no respect there when CM Punk was trying to put him on to something. Like, you know what I'm saying? If CM Punk is running that Saturday show, you know what I'm saying? And there was a conversation not to do something, and then you get there and then you do it. You basically disrespecting. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want to just do your own thing, and for me, it's just like. And if he did that, if that Jungle Boy did that, he did that, it's just like, for me, I look at that, I'm like, damn, like, people would love to be in that situation. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's because you grew up with money, like, you know what I'm saying? It has anything to do with it, no disrespect to him, but I feel like people appreciate stuff like this. If an OG or older dude in the game is trying to put you on, like, yo, you don't have to do that. You'll get the same reaction if it was a fake glass. You know what I'm saying? And then you throw it in the air and you say something in the camera about, and you basically directing to the person that told you not to do that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah.
So it's funny that you mentioned this.
If it's true.
Because if it's allegedly. Because earlier in the show, we were talking about it's not what you say, it's how you said it.
100%.
So do you think maybe, allegedly, or whatever happened, CM Punk didn't say it the way for Jungle Boy to take it in the right way?
Yeah, because he is a lot younger than him.
Okay, but I think that in my opinion, I think that, back in the days, man, when we was wrestling, it's like, the older guys used to talk crazy to the younger guys. And we live in a different world now. Like, you know what I'm saying? But for me, it's just like, well, if me personally, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the toughest guy in the world, but I could tell you that I could sit here and say I did more street stuff than any wrestler you can name. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to where I grew up and the things I have done, you know what I'm saying? And through the grace of God, I'm here. But it's just like, when I look at him, it's just like, come on, like, if he says something, even if he said it in a manner, if you a man, you don't have to, like, we don't have to get physical. All you have to do is pull somebody to the side and be like, yo, bro, like the way you said that, like, you know what I mean? Like, we have to address that situation. Like, you know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
I feel like if especially if you don't come from that, why are you wilding out like that? You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Oh, you grow up in Beverly Hills. How you
know what
talking
I'm
crazy?
saying? Like, if you go, and for me,
Dang,
some people may not agree, but for me, it's just like, if you come from a place that nobody talks to you like that, as a man, and you know me, I'm gonna address it immediately, and I'm gonna pop off on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then that's understandable.
Damn.
But I feel like if you don't grow up from that, then it's just like, as a man, obviously you don't want no other man to disrespect you, but pull him to the side and be like, yo, bro, the way you talking to me, you can't. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not having that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just doing
Look
that.
at you making me look at CM Punk in a different light.
So-
Yeah,
let me
actually,
ask you a
our
question.
fellow MD 8999, he's actually from Chicago, and he said, "I believe everything this brother is saying," which is funny because I mean it's a different point of view.
I didn't even know that you was live.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are, we
Oh
are.
yeah. We
So,
live.
Let me ask you a question, right? You as promoter, right? What are some of the things that you have taken from Vince? Matter of fact, I don't want to say just Vince. What are some of the promoters that you look up to and you took some of their things into your own promotion?
All right. And I'm not gonna sit here and try to, like, I try not to never lie, but honestly, I don't really look at anybody. You know what I mean? There's things I seen that I agree that Vince did that it was game changers, like in
Like
the
what?
beginning
Put me on.
stages. Like just putting together like entertainment, like the music industry, you know what I mean? I just seen the documentary the other day about that he had that girl, what's her name that she did a song? Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Oh, the
That
Cyndi
song?
Lauper.
Yeah, I just seen that for the first time, and I'm paying attention. I see stuff like that. I'm like, wow, Vince was ahead of his time. He knows. You know what I mean? Entertainment, like you bring those two big, like, you know what I mean, big worlds together, like hip hop or whatever together, is just like, it's gonna work. You know what I mean? Especially hip hop these days. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, hip hop's everything. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just like bringing that, like Swerve right now. You see how Swerve is doing it? He's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And I was doing that with House of Glory. I brung in DJ Hookah to House of Glory to Ken. I then brung in Uncle Murder, West Side Gun, and a couple of years ago. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's doing it right. I always feel like those two worlds always work good together, especially for wrestling. You know what I mean? So I think Vince was ahead of his time with that. You know what I mean? And you know, but I usually just, for me, I'm a thinker. You know what I mean? I do a lot of thinking. You know what I'm saying? And you know, through the grace of God, man, like, you know what I mean, it's been working. You know what I'm saying? With his guidance, with God's guidance, you know what I mean? I always got these ideas that just be popping in my head, and I just do them.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
follow-up question, right? What are some wrestlers that no one believes, like, nah, man, Brian, you wrong about this, brother, man. You crazy. Yeah, you look back on, like, I told y'all.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, there was times that I was like, no, he's not the guy, and then it became the guy.
But who was it?
So that's what you can tell you. I learned being a promoter or whoever, or just a fan of wrestling, you can't just, you know what I mean? You can't look at somebody and be like, well, he will never make it. CM Punk was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Joey Janela was one of them. I remember Joey Janela when he first started. He used to hit me up to be in House of Glory, and I denied him. I was like, nah, for a long time. Damn. And then Danny DeMonto, I don't know if you know who Danny DeMonto. Well, he hit me up, and he was like, yo, look, and that's my boy. And he was like, yo, look, I'm gonna wrestle on the show, but I want to wrestle against Joey Janela. I'm like, all right. Yo, he wrestled Joey Janela, man. Joey Janela came and did a backflip from some stand right there. The crowd just went crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? And since then, I was booking him. And look at him now. Like, for me, I feel like at one point, Joey Janela was indie wrestling. You know what I mean? That dude right there, man, like, like, you know what I mean? I'm a fan of his. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's doing his thing with GCW, like, GCW's killing it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
What they do, like WrestleMania week, I just feel like
they took over.
Yeah,
nah.
It is.
Brett,
it's
let me tell you
crazy.
something. The promoter, I took my hat to him, man. He's dope, and I knew him for a lot of years too. Because when I used to wrestle in CCW, he was the ref. You know what I'm saying?
He was the ref?
Brett Lauderdale, yeah.
You know, my brother's a ref.
Brett was the ref.
You
Wow.
forget I ref from him.
And CCW, yeah.
So to make sure he
So,
remembers.
but that story in itself, like, you know what I mean, it's to show you, like, you know what I mean, he's a hustler. I have a lot of respect for that man. Let me tell you something.
Ref? That's crazy.
That's wild.
But even outside of that, you know what I mean, I have a lot of respect for him, because I know Nick Gage did 10 years in prison.
Yeah.
Right? And Brett Lauderdale held him down the whole 10
time.
years. That right there, I look at him like a different person. You know why? Because there's people in your family that won't support you. You do time. You do a year, you won't even see your cousins ever again. You do a year, they don't show up. You know what I mean? And I did time, like, you know what I mean? And my brother did 17 years, and I got another brother that did like 5 years, and my uncles, you know what I mean? So for me, it's just like when somebody holds you down like that, those are special individuals.
Which brother? When that comes to House of Glory?
No, he did 5 years, but my other brother, he came home, he did 17 years. Damn. And you know what I mean, it's hard, man, because it's like people forget about you. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen Brett used to reach out to me, and I remember when Nick Gage was coming home, Brett reached out to me. He was like, yo, I want to bring him to House of Glory, boom, boom, and I turned it down, and that's something I will always regret. You know what I mean? Because
what made you turn out that moment?
Because I knew Nick Gage from CCW, and he was like a hardcore, and House of Glory wasn't hardcore. Like, you know what I mean? And that stood with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But look what Brett did. He built an empire. GCW for me is an empire, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it goes WWE, AEW, GCW. Shout out to the people at Impact, but GCW, I'm just a fan of that brand. You know what I mean?
Where do you think?
I'm not a fan of no brand, but you know what I mean? I like what Brett's doing it because he came from the bottom.
Is
Brett
it
himself came from
the
bottom.
marketing that intrigues you that GCW does? Because I feel like their marketing and just like how they strategically place like certain shows and where they do the shows and things like that plays a factor. So what would you say is like the biggest thing for on their end that they do?
I think what the Joey Janela Spring Break. I think that once that dropped that year, he grabbed that and like, I'm taking this. We out of here. You know what I'm saying? That was so smart on his part to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, and one of my guys is one of the guys over there, Charles Mason. Like, you know what I mean? He wrestles for them and he tells me great things about them. So
They take care of him.
You know, I just love it, man. You know what I mean? Like, the more wrestling, when you have companies that do right by the wrestlers and stuff like that, people can say whatever they want about me. You know what I mean? If they do, it's because they really don't know me. You know what I'm saying? And it's usually people that work with you that end up leaving that has the most to say about you. But when they with you, they happy to be there. You know
Won't say nothing to your face, but
yeah,
once they
when you leave and you gave them opportunities to work with you, they're the first ones to start talking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no wrestler out there could say that I owe them money. You know what I'm saying? That everybody get paid. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just like, it's not easy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
So when you speak about looking at talent, what do you look for particularly?
That's a good question. For me, first and foremost, like, I got my roster, my students. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, I may sound biased, but my students is the best wrestlers in the world. Like, I got Charles Mason, I got Ken Broadway, I got Private Party. You know what I mean?
main event.
Encore.
Main event, Encore. There's a lot of them. You know what I'm saying?
So she was at the student show.
Them Barbies, them Barbie duos. Let me tell you, that right there, they gonna go to the top.
Word.
Cause I'm a sucker for a good gimmick, and I feel like the presentation, and I was sold on both, and I was just like, this is amazing. This is what wrestling's about. Like, giving guys and girls opportunities like this for them to shine. And
Absolutely.
And I love the fact that they was out there shining, because I was like, oh my God, we gotta love them.
I'm a huge fan of character. You know what I'm saying? And I've been feeling for the last couple of years. That's why you see these characters in House of Glory. Because I feel like, back in the days when we were younger, it was all about characters.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And then obviously through like the Attitude Era, that went away. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like now it's going back to character, right? Because if you look, man, for me personally, I feel like everything's the same thing, right? WWE, AEW, everything's the same thing, right? But when it comes to character, it's something different. I feel like, and I don't know if wrestlers are gonna feel, if they watching this, they're gonna feel some type of way. But I feel like wrestling fans these days are smarter than the wrestlers, right? And I say that to say this: there's wrestling fans, right? Like, they'll sit in the crowd and they already know what's gonna happen next, right? So you're telling the same story over and over and over. Oh, he's gonna do this next. He's gonna do that, and that usually happens when it's like a wrestler. Like, if you're a wrestler or you training to be a wrestler, you know what's gonna happen next because you've been training for that. But for wrestling fans to know what you're doing next, is because it's happening all the time. So fans is like, well, entertain me now. I already know what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? You strike hard, you do 100 flips. But when these characters come to life, people are drawn to them. Because, like, now I'm entertained with that. Because I know it's fake, but you're entertaining me. Like, this character, you're really bringing it to life. And I'm interested in that. Like, you know what I mean? For me, I feel like that guy that passed away, I'm sorry.
Bray.
Yeah.
Bray
He brought,
Wyatt.
you see that character that he brought? Like, even there's all these different characters in wrestling that you just sit there and it's just like, for me, I'm a fan of character. You know what I mean? So this is why I try to push characters more than anything. Like, look at Main Event, look at Ken Broadway, look at Charles Mason. He's a psychopath. Like, you know what I'm saying? So these characters, the Barbie situation, like, you know what I mean?
Listen, keep that going.
For me, it's just characters. I feel like people want to see characters.
So let me ask you a question, right? Since you love characters, dogs, what are some advice from upcoming wrestler? He come up to you like, Brian, give me some advice for me to find my character.
Word. See, it's hard. I feel like I have to be with somebody or have them around me to be able to figure out their character. Or if they have a character. If they have a character, then it takes me some time to try to put it together in my mind. So with House of Glory is like, and I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, with my students, like not all the time, but there's times that I'll come up with the character, right? Or I'll see something. Like Charles Mason, right? When I seen him, I don't know if you guys, we had another student, I forgot his name. I apologize. But when I seen him and Charles Mason's, I felt like they looked alike. So I made them like rich characters.
Oh, when they were the tag team.
Yeah, it was Alex Mason.
Okay,
Alex
I remember
Okay,
that.
I remember him. Okay.
So when I seen them, they were training one day, and I'm like, I could see them being like royalty. You know what I'm saying? This is before MJF and stuff like that. That was I don't copy. I don't need to, like, you know what I mean? It's just in my mind, and I try to bring it to life. So when I seen that, if you notice, they promos from before, we had them in limousines.
They was in yachts. All that.
So for
I
me, it
remember
was just
that.
like I was trying to bring that to life, and then So for me in my mind, I'm like, you know, now Charles Mason's by himself. Like, what happens next with him? Because you could be in yachts and all that. After a while, people don't want to see that no more, right? So for me, it was just like I wanted to like bring him into like more of like American, what you call it, Psycho?
Yeah.
But before he even got to that, during the pandemic, he started doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like he started going with it, and I'm like, that's perfect, because that's the route I feel like he had to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you could be in fancy and all that, but people are invested in like the crazy stuff that he's been doing, like killing people and eating people. Like, people like shit like that.
And
You
it's
know
a
what I'm
good
saying?
kind of like, in a sense, for him in that example, being
He plays
the crossover.
that so good. Like,
he
you know what I mean?
does.
Like, he
It's
really-
believable.
he
You're like, damn.
He became that character. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You have to become that
Living the-
character.
living the gimmick.
Exactly. So that's all him. Like, he became that. He created the second. I had one thing in mind, and he took that and like, I'm gonna make this, and that's exactly what he did, and it's working because people really love him.
So let me get a little messy now.
Are you gonna talk about your character?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
So let me
Because
get.
I definitely was about to ask him that
Yeah,
question.
facts. Me too.
So how do you tell him to stop smiling, even though he wants to be this diehard heel, and we all know he can't be the diehard heel because he can't not smile.
Well, because that's what Red told me to do. Red said you have the face that people hate.
You do though. You do. Yeah.
Damn.
You got that face people that you want to punch.
Yeah.
Damn, really?
That's what Red said.
But then you always smiling, even when
I
you
don't-
did the. When he did the Battle Royal thing, and I was recording him, and Mikey he tells me, you're not supposed to be cheering him. I said, well, he's smiling, so I'm a cheer because he's smiling.
Hard.
Okay.
It was fun, but so I had a good time.
Clearly.
I don't get to wrestle on House of Glory.
that
I'm
was
not good.
That was good,
I'm gonna take full advantage of this.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah, I know. That's how y'all.
I'm so hyped to ref. Like, I get to ref.
Yes.
But anyways, this is how I'm gonna be messy. Is you have a new crop of students coming up. Especially you saw the last LPW show, student show.
It was good.
Was there any particular people on this show that stood out to you that you're like, yo,
Standouts.
They coming up next.
they coming up there? So
Absolutely.
can give you a few names.
Just so the viewers
How
can.
you gonna do me like that?
No, just so that the viewers can, follow them. Because that's a lot of, like,
Yeah,
a
hell
lot of
yeah.
comments we get is like, people that watch the show, they'll be like, oh, I never heard this person until you guys said something. So it's not even, he's being messy,
No,
but.
I'm not gonna do that.
Listen.
I'll tell you this though. There's like a good 3 or 4 that I look. I'm like, wow, they're gonna. Be
Alright,
I'm
I'ma
gonna tell
say
you the
this.
one. I'm about to be. Let me tell you the ones I did like.
Okay.
I was so mad. It was this. I don't know the names of the characters, so please forgive me in advance. But it was this black dude in that battle royal that was taking out mad people at first, and I was like, man, I liked him. And he was tall, and he was in the back, kind of playing security after the fact. So I did like him.
The one they call Omas.
Okay, it could be because he's very, very tall.
Yeah.
That one the kid they call.
Definitely the Barbies. Yeah, them. Actually, when they called them the Jailbirds, I popped for both because I was like, that's funny. But I was trying to think.
5 star. He was like the first match.
5-star, the one that was dressed like the from Goofy.
Yo, he's nice.
Yeah.
I like him.
Oh, the cowboy
I like
one.
No, that's August. That's
But August, I
He's
like
nice.
him.
I like August too.
August
He's a
nice, too.
He really plays that.
You know who's
cowboy
nice too? Oni
character.
King.
Yes. Oh,
like
shout out
him.
to Oni. Yes,
I like,
absolutely.
I like Judy Aura.
Jody
Aura.
the champion.
Son.
Yeah, he's good.
All the little stuff that he does. Son, he made my job a lot easier.
And I like. I'm dead. And the girl that was on commentary that gave me Selena vibes.
Diamond?
I like her.
She nice too.
I do like
Let
her.
me tell you something. Both of those girls, Kamar and Diamond, watch what's gonna happen with them.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you something.
The 3 that was there in general,
Yeah,
like
no.
they good, like very good. Like the one with the Army 50, I forgot her name.
She's not
Sorry.
from the school.
No, she's not
not?
from the school. No.
No, you
wow.
talking about
Diamond?
Christina Marie?
Yeah.
She's on the Indies.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, she runs
we try
on
to
the
bring,
indie.
obviously we try to bring like indie wrestlers to be able to build them more.
So, yeah,
You know
which
what
is
I'm saying?
dope.
Yeah, but
She had a
Bruno
really
was
good match
nice,
with them.
very professional,
Let me tell you
everything,
something.
yeah.
Diamond and Kumar.
Sorry.
Like those 2 females, and we got another girl too. Like they're gonna be really good, man. Like they're gonna be really good. Because Red, when it comes to certain people, Red doesn't let you just go out. He wants to make sure that you super prepared, so when you go out there, you could be able to wrestle anybody.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
makes
saying?
perfect sense.
You know, but a lot of kids, man, like, not all my kids, but there's a few kids sometimes you get that want to rush. They want to rush and go out there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I try to explain to them, like, let
be
me
in
tell you
school for a
something.
month.
I'm gonna try to explain to them, like, look, people, their first impression is the best impression. If you go out there and you really like you green and you go, well, I got trained by Amazing Red, and you still green, people are gonna look at you like, oh, he's all right, and then you're still training. So by the time you get good and you're better, they're always gonna look at you like that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just like let them when they first see you, you want to have the whole package and be like, oh yeah, no, this one of Red's guys. Like,
Yeah,
really good.
So I've said this numerous times. Like a lot of people, the ones who take Red's advice,
Yep.
pop.
Absolutely.
Like they always like. For instance, a good example is Encore.
Do one more.
yes.
Red told him, "Hey, gain weight, get more muscular, start putting more work into the gym," and now that man's on the indies making six figures.
Yeah, no, he's making a lot of money.
That and I keep seeing the sponsored ad of him doing dance aerobic stuff too, and I love that.
No, but now I was talking to him the other day, and it's just like he's making such good money with that he's like, yo, B, even if AEW came to me, I would have to ask this. Now I asked them what they can offer me.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where he went, because I remember story time. I was in a car with him.
Okay.
And he was driving me home. It was we left House of Glory. He was like, "Yo, I see your social media is doing well. Like, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Do X, Y, and Z. You already have everything. Just do this and this. Do a couple of this." And what he did, he just took what I told him, went to the next level with it. And then he took what Red told him, took it to the next level. It's the guys who are coachable are the ones who really blow up.
Absolutely. And also too, you know what helps when you when you're an athlete at a young age,
Yeah.
like baseball, football, whatever, even just running around, like that really helps you. So by the time you come and you start training, it's like you learn things faster. But if you was a kid, female or like a female playing Barbies and a little kid playing video games and not really doing anything athletic, and you just want to decide you want to become a wrestler, it's hard. You know what I mean, there's still people that still make it, but it's just like it's hard. But when you view it athletic from when you were younger, you get in there, it's just like, all right, you learn faster. That's
I
just
want
my
you to
opinion.
like expand on that. So a lot of people up and coming. What are best advice you have people before getting into wrestling?
Like, how do you prepare to
yourself.
go to
I-
training
You know, it's
school?
crazy that I get that question a lot. Like people will come hit me up especially on the emails. They be like, "Oh, you know, I never trained before, or I look, I'm like fat, or I'm too small, I'm too skinny." And it's like for me, it's like none of that matters. Like you're gonna get in shape when you in here in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you got to be coming in, because I remember when I was training a couple of years ago, and I'm like, yo, I was telling Red, I'm like, yeah, I'm running, I'm on a treadmill. He was like. He said, you could do all the running you want in the world. He said, come in the ring, and I guarantee you in 30 seconds, you're going to be blown up. Ooh. He said, there's no, you're not going to be prepared to be running in that ring outside of the ring. He said, you got to be in the ring training to prepare to be in the ring training. Like, you know what I mean? He said, your cardio is going to be up when you in the ring, not when you in that treadmill. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it always stood with me. Like, you know what I mean? So it don't matter how you look. Just come and start your journey. Like, you know what I mean? If this is what you want to do, and I tell the students all the time, I'm like, yo, look, even if you don't make it, and if you love wrestling, even if you don't make it and you come and you training, you actually live in your dream. Like, you know what I'm saying?
We live in our dream every day here, B.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just like, it doesn't matter.
That's
Like,
aspirational.
I'm just saying, like, it doesn't matter. You're living this dream, and a lot of times, we bring in stars. You could be around people that you see on TV. You're around them in the locker room. Like, you live in the dream.
That's why I pay him the first of every month.
I know. That's why you living it up.
I need that.
Yeah, no, he's dead sure about that. So we talk about House of Glory. What is something that you want to do? What is a goal? Because I know, like, once again, as successful House of Glory has been and things of that nature, and knowing you and being the visionary you are, you always want to take it a step further, take it another level up. So what's a goal of yours that you have currently that you can share for House of Glory? Because I know everyone, especially those that watch and live in the tri-state area, House of Glory does have their show tomorrow night in Jamaica, Queens. So just come out and support.
Friday
but
the
what's a
13th.
goal that you have for House of Glory?
Honestly, I didn't know we was gonna make it this far. You know what I'm saying? So everything else is just bonus. You know what I'm saying? I remember when we was running in a boxing gym. You know what I mean? Years ago, we was running in a boxing gym, and it's crazy because for me, I always felt, and I always go by this: people believe what they see, right? And that's a true statement. You know what I'm saying? Because we was running in this boxing gym, right? And then we found this venue, right? Where we at now, like in 2013 or something, 2014. And I told my guys, I said, listen to me, right now in New York and Jersey, we the 4th best company, right? At that time, they had this guy used to run shows in Manhattan. I forgot the name of the show, Family Wrestling Entertainment. I don't know if you guys remember that. Well, he had big names, and then I heard the guy had a lot of money. And then there was Pro Wrestling Syndicate.
I remember that.
Wrestle Pro. They always pro. So, and for me, there was like another company, and then it was us. I said, once we run that first show in that venue, we automatically gonna be number one in people's eyes, because people are gonna see that, and they're gonna be like, just the presentation, that that venue looks amazing. You know what I mean? Like that, people usually run in bingo halls and stuff like that, and to be able to run in a venue like that, I said that's automatically gonna make us number one. What we gotta do is make sure that we pack that place. You know what I mean? And the first match was Low Key versus Ricochet. And I went outside and I gave out 500 free tickets to pack that place. So when people look on YouTube or whoever, they're gonna be like, that venue looks nice and it's super packed in there. And they don't know that most everybody in there was free. They probably didn't watch wrestling a day in their life.
So it's so funny you mentioned
People
that.
believe what they see. You know what I'm saying?
It's so funny you mentioned that because I always stress how NXT is free.
Yeah.
And most people don't believe that. And I can attest because I went myself. That NXT
But that's
is
not
free.
a bad thing.
No. But I say it in regards to, I think, the presentation, and it allows them to focus on that and not focus on like, let's get the revenue, let's do this, let's do that, because they have other and they have other avenues of revenue. So I like the fact that was the mental look on it was, let's get people in first. Let's get people through the door first before we build.
And I heard that's how Paul Heyman was doing things too. You know what I mean? So for me, and I didn't know that, and I learned years later. But through the grace of God, we don't have to do that. That was just at that time. Now we have fans that love House of Glory. Like, you know what I mean?
Now
so
standing room.
Yeah, so for me, it's just like, you know, sometimes we have good shows. Sometimes the shows be all right. But for me, it's like, it's mostly for my students. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just like, you know, even if they never make it, and I just hope that and pray that they feel like they make it when they wrestling in House of Glory shows. Like, you know what I mean? So you don't have to go to WWE. You don't have to go to AEW. But if you feel like you make it, if you don't make it there because you wrestle for House of Glory. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's, for me, that's the main thing, and making sure that these kids, man, like, you know, just throwing inspiration in their life and making sure that they good. You know what I'm saying?
Can I get a match?
No.
Can I
just got one.
Can I tell you from a fan point of view, though? Like, I finally get to tell you this. It's just like,
I know, we got to give Brian his flowers because I'm here for that.
You have to understand, like, the first time I ever went to your show, right?
Yeah.
It was when Cody was there. You booked Cody.
Yes.
You booked
Cody's my dude, man. He's a good dude.
great dude. You booked Matt Riddle there, stuff like that. I remember you booked so much with people.
Rey Mysterio, the Hardy Boys,
Right,
tag team
right.
champions.
I remember that. And
I definitely remember Hardy's. Yeah.
You flexing?
So
Come on, son.
it was the first show. This is the first time I saw Private Party. All of this, and the reason why I brought this up because that was the first time I was out the house in months.
Word.
Because I had almost died. I almost died.
Wait, what?
Almost died. Yeah.
He was sick. He was sick.
Yeah. I had a super rare blood disease and everything. Thank God I was in the hospital for 2 months.
God is good.
And I
Yeah.
finally came out, and someone said, "Oh yeah, come to this wrestling show." They couldn't go. It was 2 of my friends. I was just like, "All right, man. I guess I go by myself."
Yeah.
When I went to that show, you really gave me I could do this too.
Wow.
And because of that show, and I was able to ref at the student show, it was because like, damn, he gave me altitude. That was like, this was my WrestleMania.
No doubt.
You feel me? I
No
ref
doubt.
everyone else, but going at your show at a place that helped me get out of my depression, all that, to start this journey, thank you for that. Because the
doubt.
presentation was just like, I always say that this is like WWE quality. Like, the tiny
main stage.
the lasers and everything.
Even to the performance for the entrances.
Yes!
Let me tell you.
Everything. And it was when Ken Broadway has little crew.
Yeah.
Right? And
That was a long time ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how long I've been there. And to be able to be friends with some of these guys now, like Big Game. Leroy was just a lackey.
Yeah.
Leroy the lackey to Big Game Leroy.
No doubt.
That shows you that people always complain. People always talk about how many people go through there, but how many people came out your system?
No doubt.
How many people are signed to AEW and other federations because of you? And how many people who just started getting wrestling from the fan point of view, the wrestler's point of view? Yo, you doing your thing in New York.
No doubt.
And thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Even me being there, I was just like, wow, I was sitting there, I was like, this. Dang, I made it, dogs. Thank you
doubt.
for allowing me to experience my
So he reps
WrestleMania.
full time. So, you know, if you want to.
I can't.
First of all,
I can't deal with
Let me
you.
just say this though, like, just like that's that right there. You see what you just said? That's my WrestleMania. So for me right now, automatically you have to come tomorrow so you can ref one of the matches.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying?
Put a nigga
So-
on. Put a nigga on.
Yo, so
Shit just went down, y'all.
no,
Mind you,
for
we
real.
just being naturally
So
here.
this reminds me of when Vince came on
It's crazy.
what's the name show? Like when he came on what's his name?
I don't know his name, but listen to me.
Pat McAfee is when Vince came on
Oh,
Pat
his
McAfee
show?
and he was like, you know what, Pat, you got to match
gotta
at
match at WrestleMania?
WrestleMania.
I didn't even know
He
that.
sure did do that.
I didn't know that.
But no, I mean everything
Hold on,
he said.
Mama calling me.
Oh, hey mom.
Benishong,
Oh, we got Mama XL
I'm doing an interview, ma. Let me hit you right back.
on the phone.
She hung up.
She said, whatever.
Yeah. So for me it's just like that's right there. You ask me like that's what I do it for. And people I'm gonna tell a lot of people don't know this. When Isaiah Cassidy, he joined House of Glory, right? He was like 13, 14 as a
damn.
kid, right? And his father walked in one day and I was talking to his father and he was like, "Oh, you know, my son is a huge fan of Jeff Hardy," right? He said, "You don't understand, like his room is full of posters of Jeff Hardy."
Oh, wow.
Right? This is what he's telling me. And back then I think Isaiah Cassidy had like the whole Jeff Hardy thing. He was a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I told his father one day, I said, and Isaiah could tell you, and his father, I told him, I said, one day, I said, your son's a big wrestler. I said, one day, I prayed that one day we're going to get the opportunity to put Jeff Hardy against your son. He was, at that time, he was like 13, 14 years old. And then once he turned 18, look, we gave him the tag team match, him versus the Hardy
The
Boys.
Hardys.
And look where he's at right now, AEW.
Working
tagging
Working with
Hardy
the
Boys.
with the Hardy.
You know what I mean? That's a dream come true,
Damn.
man. Like, you know what I mean? So for me, it's just like, you know, there's and even Red, right? And people don't know this. Everybody for before, I don't know how long you guys been watching wrestling, but for a lot of years, even Eddie Guerrero, he wrote in his book, like a lot of people wanted to see Rey Mysterio versus Amazing Red. You know what I'm saying? And I made that match. I sold my car to get Rey Mysterio Jr.
Damn.
to wrestle Red. Like, you know what I'm saying? My Range Rover, just to put it out there.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
The
So for me, it's just like, that's what I do it for. Like, I mean, there's students out there that like always wanted to wrestle this person and it stays right here. You know what I'm saying? So when I got the opportunity, I try to bring that person so for they could be like, yo, I don't need nothing else. Like, I wrestle that person. So for me, those are the things I do it for. So by you saying that, I appreciate stuff like that because that's what makes me, you know what I mean?
It keeps you
Well,
pushing.
just to keep giving you some more flowers.
Yeah.
I think I have to open up a garden soon.
The botanical
Nah, I
gardens is
appreciate that,
coming.
man. I do-
Gene said on here he's one of our loyal subscribers to the
And he
YouTube.
goes to
Shout out to
HOG
Gene.
too.
He
as
said
well.
the vibes at House of Glory shows are better than WWE house shows.
Wow.
So this one,
Wow, that's amazing.
He-
man.
I mean, 'cause-
Appreciate it. What's his name?
Gene.
Shout out to Gene, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
Well,
God bless
because
you, man.
I feel like, in all honesty, you know, growing up in New York and being a wrestling fan, you see too many of us in one space, and I think it's a beautiful.
When you say us, you mean the minorities?
Yeah, people of color.
You want to hear some? Like when even the beginning, especially in the beginning stages, when people used to come in and they see like they're looking for the promoter and they pass right by me and they're like, well, you know, it happened to Del Rio. What's Roberto Del Rio?
Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, so a lot of times people are like, yeah, I'm looking for the promoter and I'm standing right there. You the promoter? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the promoter, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that they expected like some white guy. Or something
Yeah.
like that. No disrespect. I'm just saying because
No.
most of the time, especially for like years ago, like there was nobody that looked like me that was a promoter. And
No.
people can't say that they could, like 100%. Like every promoter, I was a wrestler. So everywhere I went, it was a Caucasian guy.
Yeah, it was
like,
for the
you know
white
what I'm saying?
man. And-
you know what I mean? And for me, it was just like when I came in the scene, people were just looking at me like weird. You know what I mean? That's why I just thank God, man, that I'm still here, man. It's just a blessing.
So next thing you guys need to do.
What we need to do, Wilkins?
So have you seen Wrestler on Netflix with Al Snow?
No,
The OVW story.
no, I haven't seen it.
When you
I
get
heard.
a chance, House of Glory needs their own.
Oh, we got the girl that's coming tomorrow. That's on that. I heard that she was on that show. That girl that's wrestling tomorrow. Now,
Layla Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
heard
because I think she is from.
That's
Yeah,
what I
she's
heard.
from
cool.
OVW. She's from OVW.
Yeah.
But she's been on AEW. She's from Queens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
Oh,
she's
wow.
from Queens.
Born and raised.
She's from
yeah.
Queens. But Thank you for coming on.
No,
man.
like
We
we're gonna have to
appreciate
wrap up, unfortunately, because listen, I can talk to Brian all day. But like I told the boys, I said that there was one person that I wanted on this show for years. It was this man to my right because
Was it worth the wait?
it was.
yeah.
It actually was.
Hell yeah,
Even when you told me when I came to the student show, I was just like, "Shut the fuck up! There's no way," because I've literally been asking him even
before we get off, I need to make a confession.
Wow.
So when we started the show, I was like, "Oh, we were recording one day, and I was going through my phone. It was like open house of House of Glory. I was like, I'm gonna go get one match.
Wow.
But the whole point was to learn wrestling, to understand wrestling and why wrestlers do certain things.
That's
So
what you signed up for?
Huh?
That's what you signed up for?
No, because I wanted to understand wrestling. I didn't know what wrestling.
No, that's real smart.
So I didn't.
No,
I
yeah.
didn't know what.
But you
wrestling-
went in for that? Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to go, I'm going to understand wrestling.
Let me-
this situation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
let
smart.
me tell you,
I
we
like that.
it was one night after we recorded,
That's dope.
and we was recording at our old studio, and it was actually after a WWE house show. Was that same night at the Garden, and we were walking back to my friend's car because he was giving me a ride home, and we get to the corner, and he goes, "I want to go to wrestling school. I just want one match." And I'm just like, "Yeah, okay, whatever, all right." So
It's because-
so you say.
It's because so to go that I was like, I want to do one match. I want to feel what a wrestler feels.
Okay.
So I could better understand what wrestling is from their point of view.
All right.
If I'm gonna do this. So because I had big dreams for the podcast. I saw what we had in the beginning, but I was like, we have to engulf ourselves in this industry if we're gonna be talking
To
about it for
understand, yeah.
so much. And then 5 years later, my brother's a ref. I'm a semi-wrestler. She's a booker and
You
a part
can't
owner.
say semi-wrestler. You are a wrestler.
Well, no, I'm really a
Don't do
semi-wrestler,
that.
but it's also I get to have conversations with you. I get to pick Red's brain, and I get to see high-quality training. Like a lot of schools, the teacher doesn't show up.
Yeah.
The head trainer doesn't show up a lot of times. That's number one. Red is there 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Red could be having a bad day and be like, fuck all y'all, but still trains us.
Run them ropes.
Run the ropes and still trains. And even the guys underneath Red, like Big Joe, Smiley,
Yeah.
they're like quality trainers. So
Especially Smiley.
Yeah, and I'm
Smiley's
understanding
good.
and wrestling, why you do certain things, why is it like that. And to be honest, it's helped me be a better podcaster for wrestling over the years. Like I know like I'm not the greatest, but because I've been able to go to House of Glory, because of that open house, it has helped elevate the podcast.
No doubt. And that was smart that you did that too. I didn't know that. You know what I mean? So by you going in, that's dedication right there. And that's real smart for you. When you hear, you know what you're talking about. I
Right.
experienced that. I'm experienced that. You know what I'm saying? So that helps a lot. Man.
It
That's
added
dope.
to the credibility of the
100%.
podcast. So no, but we like I said, I've been waiting for this, but it was more because I've always loved the way you've done business, and
No doubt.
I think that's something that most people don't really highlight in wrestling is the business side of it, and you've really figured out a way and been able to sacrifice to be able to give quality wrestling. So we're gonna leave it up to you. Promote as you do best to end the show off of your show tomorrow, and let everyone know and the viewers know where to find House of Glory. If you guys have any upcoming open houses or anything of that, this is now your time to
No
let
doubt.
everybody know.
All right, so if if you're interested in becoming a professional wrestler, you could email us. What?
No, we good. No,
Nah,
we
we're
good.
not good. He said we could have some more time.
Wait.
Nah, we got some more time. Give me one other question. They
You
giving
know
us
you
more
want another
time.
question.
I drove a long far to come over here.
Well,
man.
first of all,
right.
I drove
that's
far
not
to
my
come here.
fault. But okay, then we'll fuck it then.
Look, give me one more question.
how would-
you leaving? You're not leaving.
I'm not leaving.
Got the Freddy Krueger hat.
Everybody been clowning the hat all day.
That's official. I like that.
How would you define sports entertainment then?
Facts.
How would define sports entertainment? Ask me a different question.
No, you said actual
We could
question.
go back to that. We could go back to that.
Okay, I guess you get. Let me think. How did you create your gimmick? Because a lot of people, as everyone that's known and been watching, they've known you as the booker, but also the booker has wrestled as well.
Yeah.
So how did you create your own character?
That's a good question. For me, it was like I tried different things, man. I always try to be a face, right?
Why?
I don't know.
What's easier,
No.
heel or face?
A heel. I love being a heel.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that though at first. I didn't know that.
How?
No, it's weird. I really didn't know that. I was trying so hard to be a face, for a long time, and it's like I'm talking about years, and I didn't want to be a heel because I didn't. For me at that time, I didn't know how that would go, right? And then years later, Red was like, "Yo, bro, like." People don't like you. He told me this, right? So, let me tell you something. He was like, yo, like, because at that time, remember, I used to be in the front collecting the tickets and stuff like that. So one time, Red was like, yo, bro, like, because Red's wife at the time, like, she used to have people from her job come. You know what I'm saying? So then they used to complain about me. And I'm like, yo, Red, I'm not even doing nothing. He's like, nah, it's just something, bro. Like, you shouldn't even be in the front no more. Like collecting tickets, it's just, he said, I don't know what it is. People don't like you. Why are you trying to be a face? How about being a heel? And then I tried it, and it was the best thing that ever happened.
Oh, thank you, Red, for showing him the true light.
Red got a good mind in wrestling.
No, he does. Let me tell you something. And this is why, through the grace of God, man, we had big names come and train with Red. Obviously, everybody knows Sasha Banks came.
Yeah, she came.
I pinned her once.
I
Through the
believe you.
drill.
Thank you. I was about to say, you might want to clear that up.
Ronda Rousey came to learn from Red. I remember.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Let me tell you something. Charlotte. I remember Ronda. First of all, because me and Red, we watch UFC. You know what I'm saying? Especially Red, he loves UFC. So when I come. We was at the old school. I go in the back. I'm coming in, and Red's in the back. He goes, "Yo, Ronda's here." I said, "What?" At that time, I didn't know I'm Ronda. What you talking about? He said, Ronda Rousey is outside in the car. I was just marked out on the inside. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, she's about to come in with Sasha. I'm about to go over their match. I don't know what match they had, but they had a match. So and then she walks in, and it's crazy. You know how she walks in the ring? Mm-hmm. She walked into the school like that. She had like a bubble jacket. It was like snowing outside. And then she walks in, and she's mad little. And in TV watching, we're like, damn, Ronda Rousey. For me, she's a giant. So she's short, and she's walking into the school like this. I'm like, oh. And then Red put that whole match together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he sat both of them and Charlotte. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to say the whole match, but most of it, he put it together in Charlotte. He had Charlotte and Sasha sitting together, and they three brain put it together, and they had some great matches.
So can you tell them, because I always screen this out on the podcast, how amazing Red has probably one of the best minds in professional wrestling.
Yeah. And it's crazy because and for me it's like I sit there and not just to like because he's my business partner, like I sit there and I hear this man and I watch him and I'm like, damn, this nigga, he really knows like everything. Any question or even when wrestlers come and they will ask him for advice, and to this day I'm not mentioning no names, people will come in and ask him for advice and he sits there and the things that he says, I'm like, wow, this guy he really knows what he's talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like he could put a match for anybody. He could grab you and her and then sit down and put a match together for y'all. And it'll be like, people will be like, wow, like how long she been training? Like, he's that good. Like, you know what I mean? His mind for the business is just, you know what I mean? He's amazing, bro. It's crazy. I don't know where I'll be without him, bro. That nigga, he's dope.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing, right?
Hey.
What's your favorite style of wrestling?
That's a good question.
See, listen, I've been waiting all this time. I got questions.
Back in the days, it used to be high flying, right? But not no more. You know what I mean? For me, I think it just depends. I think it's character, obviously, you know. But I think it's more like for me, I'm a fan of like Roderick Strong.
Okay.
Yeah. He is nice.
Yeah, Loki. I feel like for me, I think Loki's one of the best wrestlers out there. Like, you know what I mean? And he doesn't get the credit. But, you know, people will say different things about him. But I think that this guy is just amazing in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Santana from LAX. Probably, I'm a fan of his. Obviously, Private Party. Kenny Omega. That's just different styles, man. I think technical and I don't know. It just depends. You know what I mean? I think I just like all wrestling. It
Who's
depends.
your favorite rapper?
Of all times or
Your personal favorite. Yeah. It could be your top 5 favorite rappers. Yeah, it's
top 5.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Throwback
you know,
question.
I have to say Biggie because I'm from Brooklyn.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Big Punt. Obviously, for me, when it comes to stuff like that, I can't put Tupac in that category. Just like I can't put the Young Bucks in the best tag team. I just feel like they're on a different level. And I feel like Tupac, the things that he was saying, I could understand. I can't relate to what Biggie or Jay-Z or any of these dudes were saying. I can't relate to that because I'm not Pablo Escobar, like, you know what I'm saying? But what Tupac was saying, I come from the gutter. Like, you know what I'm saying? I come from nothing. Like, my mom's was a single parent. I remember in the wintertime, me and my brothers used to be in front of the stove because there was no heat. So we had to stand with our jackets on and be in front of the stove like this trying to get some heat. There was times there was no food and all that. So when Tupac used to rap his old raps, not when he was in death row, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, all that, I understood that. It touched my heart because he was saying some real stuff, like, you know what I'm saying? But so Tupac, you know what I mean, Eminem, and for me, I think the GOAT of all GOATs is 50 Cent. That dude's the GOAT. Like, that dude right there, man, when it comes to 50 Cent, he different, man. And look what he's doing now. He's doing TVs.
That's what I'm saying. We talking about the man that went from vitamin water.
No, we're not talking about that. We talking about
TV
we talking about 50 that used to rob and sell bricks in the streets. This dude was robbing, beating people up, and selling drugs. And I'm not trying to glorify that.
No, but he went from like.
Remember, we from New York. We know how Jamaica Queens is.
Yeah.
To come from that, to be able to be where you at now, doing movies, and people look at him like, oh, 50 Cent. No, he come from the streets for real. You know what I'm saying? So when people are like that, like, they come from the bottom, like, because I come from that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just, I think 50 Cent, just all around, man. I think he's the best, man, all around.
So if you was to take HOG on the road, where would you go?
First or anywhere? Like
anywhere.
Yeah.
Because as everyone knows, HOG is a New York staple. Yeah. We tell everybody, even when we're not in New York, like, yo, you got to go to HOG. You got to go to a show. You got to go to a show. Where is somewhere you would be like, all right.
And budget is not an issue.
I mean, with this one, budget ain't never an issue. Like, listen, when he got Ric Flair, I was like, oh, this man don't care about nothing but money. Like, that was straight up. I was like, damn, how the hell we got Ric Flair fresh off the hospital?
Fresh off the hospital, his first appearance.
That was the way I met him at that show. Because originally...
No, he had the machine. You
know yeah.
He was sitting there doing.
That's why he was sitting there the way he was sitting.
And he had to change his bag.
I believe it.
He had to change his bag.
I didn't know that.
And we got him fresh out the hospital.
Fresh out the hospital.
Yo, so what I usually do, and, you know, not usually, but what I do a lot is I make an offer they can't refuse. Right. So that's what I did with Tanahashi. You see, we had Tanahashi in August. Tanahashi never did an indie. Go look up Tanahashi in the indie.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I set a price, and they were like, yes. You know what I'm saying? So through the grace of God, I'm privileged to be able to do it, because the fans, you know, the HOG fans and the supporters of wrestling, we won't be able to do it. God first, but we won't be able to do it without the House of Glory fans, man. They love House of Glory, so I try to bring in the biggest talent that we can. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just sometimes when it comes to certain people, I throw them an offer, and they're like, well, nah, we can't turn that down. And that's what I did with Ric Flair. He's like, I'm not turning that down. I'm pulling up with my bag.
First of all,
so he pulled up with the bag, with the cane, like, yo, what's up? I'm coming to get this chicken.
Get us all this money.
I'm coming to get this money. Where that money at?
Seriously.
For real, though.
He sat there, and he had to be sitting there at least for 2.5 hours
3
straight.
hours. Like, it was 2 hours, and I had to pay him another, I think, $5,000 or something. He's like, yo, you give me 5 more, I'll stay. Boom, I give him 5 more, he stood. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I think, you know, probably Puerto Rico.
Ooh, okay.
That'll be amazing. I think anywhere like Chicago, LA, Philadelphia. For me and Red been talking about that lately. Like, should we expand? You know what I'm saying? Because we've been in New York for so many years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just love it here. I feel like, you know, God bless us with that venue, and I love it where we at and stuff like that. And, you know, we try to bring wrestling to every month to New York, because there's
consistent
there's
wrestling.
Different places, and, like, you know, GCW comes once in a while. You know what I'm saying? New Japan comes once in a while. WWE obviously in the Garden, but we consistently every month. You know what I'm saying? So we just try to. It's like, you know, what breaks on that's, you know what I mean, been doing so well. You know what I mean? But the conversation been lately to try to travel and maybe do Mania Weekend this year for the first time. We never did Mania Weekend.
Listen, now that'll be a game changer, because in all honesty,
talking about game changer, I've been going back and forth with Brett Lauderdale, the owner of GCW.
I don't know why you just don't take over for the culture, but that's just me. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there into the atmosphere. But I'm just saying.
I think it'll be great, man.
Because I think for him. Because I've been to the For the Culture show a few times. And I think when you have a group of people, that understands the culture and
Yeah.
understands how we see it.
I think if I was controlling for the culture,
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, it'll be big.
It'll be
for
a
me to win.
production.
No, for real.
As it should
For
be.
real.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a 12 a.m. show.
I don't
where
matter. It
everyone's
don't matter. It could be
exhausted.
3 in the
Oh,
morning.
this one was turning into a club.
Yo, if it was for
Who runs it, though, Janelle?
Well, I think last year, I think Billy had did a lot of the.
Billy Dixon?
Yeah, I think he did a lot of the booking out in LA that weekend.
I don't know
if
who
I'm
that-
not mistaken.
No disrespect, I don't know who that is. He works with GCW.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I think
just saying.
if I had parts of for the culture, I think I could we could put our brains together. I think we could be able to do something great.
Listen, I believe that because I totally see. Listen, start time 12 a.m. won't end until 5 a.m. We are here. We watching wrestling. We partying. Because that's one thing that you guys have been able to do is combine hip hop and wrestling. And the way that you guys have been able to do it has been phenomenal. Just especially like New York is a hip hop city.
Yeah. And
for you guys to have, like West Side Gun, DJ Wu-Kid come out, like people of that nature come into the show. It also shows that they like wrestling too. It's super encouraging.
Everybody knows wrestling. I learned.
Right.
Let me tell you, excuse me. I met a lot of people in the industry, right? Obviously, I was traveling with Master P for a minute after we made that deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I met a lot of people, and it seems like everybody knows what wrestling. Even if they're not a fan now, there was a fan when Hulk Hogan was around, because they all say the same thing. Yeah, I used to watch it when Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. Yeah. They always say the same thing. Like, oh, then I found out it was fake. You know what I'm saying? It's always the same answer. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, especially in the hip hop, everybody in the hip hop culture, they love wrestling. Most of the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all, especially when you come from where we come from, you know what I mean? Not trying to separate it because wrestling is for everybody. You know what I'm saying? True. But I just feel I don't know, it's weird. When I was a kid, I felt all the kids around me watched wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So
it's funny because you go through these period of times, because you talked about how there was a time where you just stopped watching wrestling, and I feel I know for me that time was when I was in college. I was just there's just no way for me to keep up with this at this point. But literally the moment I got out of college, I went right back into it. It was nothing, no time had passed. So it's just interesting how we all hold wrestling to this kind of statue of yo, this is a part of our life. If you weren't doing wrestling, what would you have been doing?
You really want me to answer that question?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, you know what I mean?
Glorifying.
Let me tell you, I'm not glorifying nothing. And my cousin's right there. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to cousin, the building in the background.
Yeah, he could tell you what I was doing outside of wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Before this came a thing, what we were doing. You know what I'm saying? And it was not good. You know what I mean? So I definitely will probably, be in jail and dead or something. You know what I'm saying? Because without wrestling, even right before we opened House of Glory, I was doing things. Yeah.
He's reminiscing. He's man, that was a time.
Yeah, no, I was, even right before House of Glory, I was in the streets. You know what I mean? So, once God opened these doors for me, House of Glory, from that day forward, I was out. I was you know what I mean? I'm good. I'm not doing nothing legal. You know what I mean? I'm not getting into no drama. You know what I mean? I was good. So I'll definitely say but that was not my path. But I say if I was not doing wrestling, I'll probably be in jail.
So what independent wrestling superstar, in your opinion, is running the indies
right now?
Right now,
Matt Cardona. I feel
isn't he your champion?
Yeah, he is my champion. Not to say, I didn't know. Hold on, I'm not saying.
I'm cheap plugging for you.
No.
Isn't that your champion that's wrestling tomorrow night? Yeah.
If it makes you on the bottom.
For me is and I always tell these to my students, every couple of years there's a group of guys that run the indies and they eventually get signed. You know what I'm saying? Obviously Matt Cardona was in WWE, you know what I'm saying? But he's in the indies now. And he is the draw. You know what I'm saying? He's the guy right now. You know what I'm saying? And every year there's always a couple of guys that are top guys. You know what I mean? And right now he has it.
So let me ask you a question.
I think that's wild though.
Of course I'm asking.
Zack Ryder.
What are some life lessons that you learned from wrestling? That obviously through your experience of life that you didn't learn from, you know what I'm trying to say.
Being humble.
Elaborate on that.
Obviously, I can't be in this own this business or be a part of or talking to people a certain way. You know what I mean? Because I was always talk with aggression. Right, aggression, but that was sometimes to this day, I'll talk to my students or talk to somebody, they think I'm yelling, but I'm really not yelling. I'm just talking really loud. You know what I'm saying? Because my dad is like that. And my dad is like a preacher.
Thank you.
You think that he's screaming at you and he's really just talking about God. You know what I mean? Like yo, you trying to beat me with Jesus? Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, he's passionate. Like, you know what I mean? He talks sometimes. So for me, it's just like I separated myself and even outside of that, like I was just a person that was really aggressive when I talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and I had to learn how to humble myself and talk the right way. You know what I mean? Because if you say the wrong thing or say something the wrong way, people could take it the wrong way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I learned how to be humble. You know what I mean? And I love it. Like, I love being in this business. Like, even yesterday when I walked in to the arena, NYC Arena, I'll show tomorrow. We got Suzuki versus Charles Mason. You got to go see that. It's going to be crazy. We got Rocky
Friday the
Romero.
13th.
We got Mike Santana from AEW. It's going to be a movie. So yesterday when I went to in the arena, I was looking around. I'm like, I can never get used to this, man. I just thank God, man. You know what I'm saying? I thank God. Like, this is a great opportunity that He has me here doing this, like mentoring these kids, talking to these kids. And somebody told me the other day at the student show, they were like, this woman came to me. She said, this is great that you're doing stuff like this. She said, because these kids could be outside doing some crazy stuff like they be doing. There's a lot of young kids these days, man. It's not the way it used to be.
They don't have the direction.
You know what I'm saying? There's no direction, and it's just like they just killing and robbing. Even though when we were younger, it was like that, but it's just like
it's a different.
it's
different right now.
We were doing it, and that doesn't make sense. But that's what it was.
But there was a purpose.
Now there's no purpose.
It's like I do what I want to do, and that's it.
Yeah, now there's no purpose, and it's just like it's really bad. So when she was telling me that, I'm like, yo, this is why I do it for. Like, you know what I mean? To get these kids out the street. And I'm not perfect. Like, you know what I'm saying? None of us are. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I always put God first, man. And I always try to give advice to these kids, man, to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? And this is their home. Like, you got a home right here.
Yeah, that's the important part. Well, all right, now I officially got the wrap it up thing, but you're not going to skate away from, you define sports entertainment, and then you can plug your show tomorrow. You think you slick. Slick.
All right,
what does sports entertainment mean to you? Like, when you hear that, what's the first reaction you get out of that?
Sports entertainment. Like what? Like WWE?
Yeah, just in general. Like, you know how there's always that debate of like wrestling is like, you can either call it professional wrestling or you can call it sports entertainment. Like, when you hear sports entertainment, what do you hear?
Yeah, I think, well, you just said it right now. I think entertainment. We're here to entertain people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's the first thing that we got to make sure that we all here is to make sure that the fans leave and be like, wow, that was great. Like, you know what I mean? So it's entertainment for me. I think that makes the most sense. Entertaining people, like make sure that when they leave, them like, I'm coming back next month for the next House of Glory show. Like, they killed it. Like, you know what I mean? It's just entertaining the people.
There you go.
You know
all right, so you plug the show for tomorrow. As Mr. Black mentioned, all the details will be not only on our Facebook but also on the bottom. Oh, and he has the flyer up. So talk about it.
House of Glory tomorrow. Main event: Suzuki versus Charles Mason. That's gonna be a legendary match, man. Then we got Santana, my brother, against Rocky Romero. We got Nolo, the new cruiserweight champion. We got
I like him as a heel now. I didn't like him as a face. I'm just gonna tell you honestly.
Yeah, everybody.
Face wasn't here, but heel him. I'm here for it.
We got the future tag teams of the world. Main event versus Cambroy and Encore. Ooh. We got a lot of great things happening tomorrow. So if you're in the New York area or the Northeast, come down to House of Glory. If you want to become a professional wrestler, you can email us at contact@hogwrestling.net. And come out, man. We're going to have a lot of great time. We're going to make sure that when you come out, you're going to have a great time, man.
Absolutely. And then when you come out, you can see, when you see him, you'll know that he's the man in charge. I definitely can relate to when people walk past you to be like, I'm looking for somebody. I'm like, I'm right in front of you.
Yeah, I'm right here.
I'm right here.
I'm the one that's running it.
But no, on behalf of the Jobbertears podcast, we thank you for taking the time out. It is not easy, and we understand that. And you are just, you're a wrestling gem and icon to us in the wrestling New York City area, because what you've done for independent wrestling, what you've done for the community, just wrestling community and your community in general is untouched and it's unmatched. And we definitely appreciate everything that you put in for wrestling and just in life in general. So we thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us this week. I'm trying to think of the next time. We'll definitely be back next week. The next time we're at Legends will be for Full Gear, so stay tuned for more information on that. As always, I'm Janelle from HR, here with Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black, and of course, Brian XL, owner, booker, all of the above of House of Glory. Please make sure to come out and support them tomorrow night on their Friday the 13th show. as well as I believe Comic-Con is this weekend. So I do want to shout out.
I forgot Comic-Con was this weekend.
I do want to shout out Nerds. They have a booth out there. Go check out my guy from Nerds. Private Party will be at their booth, I believe, Saturday afternoon. So check out for more information on that. And then my homegirl, Leah, is doing an official, unofficial after party Comic-Con at Ludlow Cafe. I'll put out the information for that, but I wanted to shout them out, and especially Ludlow Cafe, of course. So thank you guys for joining us this afternoon. Hashtag Black Excellence. Hashtag we are out.
God bless you guys, man. Peace. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.
Got the hands in motion. If you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans. You gotta wait till your coast chosen. Trying to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes & Noble.